accent.
Okay. Welcome to the Ben Mala podcast, where Ben Mala and the crew are going to answer your real estate questions. If you'd like to submit your question, go to benmala.com/shop. You can get a fast pass that will get you the call on the show. Aaron is also going to read super chats, and Ben and the crew are going to answer them. So, Ben, what's the big show coming up?
Listen, let me tell you something. Forget the show for right now. Don't forget about it. But I've got sitting next to me, okay, you guys got it. You don't get it. You have an opportunity to meet somebody who's the real fucking deal, okay? This is the guy. I met him online in about 2003 or 2 or something through LoopNet.
Yep.
All right? I met him. I come down here, and he opens up the fucking floodgates to me. All right? That's what he did to me in Florida. This is the guy that set my ass up in Florida. All right? And I can't count the number of fucking deals we did together. All right? And you guys have the honor and pleasure of meeting him. So John Burpee's here. I'm sorry. I know you changed brands recently. What's the name of your firm?
John Burpee and Associates.
John Burpee, and he has associates.
Pretty simple.
All right? But he keeps the associates in their place. All right. He's the big head honcho. Oh, his wife really is. I know her.
That's the truth.
But we all have that issue. So welcome, John. Thanks for coming. I really appreciate you. I know you're a busy guy.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
And listen, you better hurry up and get your tickets, okay? Because we sold out the last time we had them in Fort Lauderdale. Saturday night was sold out. Brenda had to turn people away, and they were pissed. But luckily, I had a show the next day. I'm not doing the show the next day because they kicked my ass. So you better hurry up. Go book your room. If you book 2 tickets, the room only ends up costing you $50 if you go to the room package. All right? So book your room, get a ticket, zoom in, and don't miss it. October 15th, Saturday night, we're having a real estate party, baby. And let me tell you, if you're really into real estate, it's a night that's really going to be productive for you in your life. All right? So get your tickets. All right, we got John here sending you super chats. So whoever's got something to do, Get a fast pass. Call in. Be part of this. We're not one of those YouTube things where, you're the audience. Join us. Be part of it. All right? We got John Burpee here tonight. I hope we're not going through the whole screen thing again with going off and stuff, and I think we're off the air. Are we off the air?
To start, no, we're good. We're good. But to start, what did you do today? I haven't talked to you all day.
All right, listen. There's no way I can tell you what I did today. You want to know what I tell you? I tell your mother. You want to know what I did today?
Yeah.
Go through my phone. Go through my emails and see all
I do
the
one of
calls
those
I
things.
took, all the messages I took, all the emails I took. Let the devices show you what I did today, because there's no way I can tell you or even remember. All right? John Burpee's here, and let me tell you the story about John Burpee. John Burpee picked me up. This is before I was married. Okay? We're talking a long time ago. Picked us up and chauffeured us around. And then the deal that he wanted me to buy was already tied up. Okay, quick story. The deal that he really wanted, the best deal that was on the table, was tied up. I'm in a 1031. I'm trying to get the hell out of California, get married, move out here, and start a new life. And what he does is he takes me to a deal that he already tied up with his really good friend. Okay, that guy was a good friend of yours. You sold him a lot of shit.
Yep.
But he wasn't as loyal to you as I was.
No, he was not.
Okay, because he's a Tampa guy. Tampa guys don't play like us Pinellas guys. Okay. So, what he did was he showed me the deal, even though he just tied it up with his buddy. We won't mention his name. And I said, man, this is a sweet deal. And then he told me the price the guy was paying. And then I said, you know what, John? And correct me if I'm wrong, because, it's been 20 years, John. I told you, call him up and see if he'll flip the deal to me.
Yep. Exactly right.
And he did.
Yeah.
The guy made $1 million plus for doing nothing. He bought me a fucking corned beef sandwich, and we consummated the fucking deal at a deli for
right.
19 at Lenny's.
That's true.
And, me and that guy became competition and friends. But John basically and it was a great deal even paying the guy off, because compared to the money I made in California, it was a great deal. John basically put me in the circle. Okay, you got to be in the network. You got to be in the game. You got to play with the other guys in the sandbox. And John Burpee put me in that fucking sandbox and gave me a shovel and a bucket to play with. Okay, and next thing you know, I meet John. What do I meet? I meet the lawyer I need to work with. That's how I know Tom Nash after 20 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's how I probably met the bank. Back then it was Colonial or something.
Colonial.
So, John he didn't just sell me a property, okay? And he found me fantastic deals, okay? And he didn't just do that. He put me in the world of real estate here, got me in a circle so I could start making moves. Okay, so I can't thank you enough, John. I don't know if I ever told you thank you. I'm telling you now 20 years later. Thanks a lot. I appreciate, because let me tell you, if it wasn't for John, I would have flipped all those deals. I would have made all the goddamn money, and I wouldn't be sitting in this big fat mansion right now. I admit it. All right, there's people in my life that have helped me and put me in the right position and helped me get where I'm at today. You got to, when you find these people, use the hell out of them, because work the shit out of them. Goddamn, when you find a golden egg like this or a chicken laying some eggs, you got to be nice to that chicken and keep giving him business, and he gives you business, and we all grow together. Because John, you done pretty good too. You were wearing a Timex when I met you. Now he's wearing a fucking Rolex. Holy shit! He's driving a brand. He got the same Corvette as a little bit outside. Probably better, because John likes nice shit. I went to his house once and he had fucking high-end fucking muscle cars and all this shit there.
It's not a Corvette outside, it's a Ferrari.
Oh shit, I'm sorry. They look the same, the new ones. A little bit more smart. He bought a Corvette that looks like a Ferrari for a third of the price. My wife's got a Ferrari, but not as nice as yours. What kind is that?
F12.
Ooh,
That thing, that's nice.
My wife is a Californian. All right, well, John, we appreciate you here, and you got a world of knowledge. That's a fucking fact. Me and you only did a lot of multifamily together. What other type of real estate have you done?
Yep. We also did the first hotel you ever bought, the Oasis, Treasure Island, the little small one.
Little small one.
George A. Gillis sold that to me.
Yeah. Well, I think we sold it for you.
You sold it to the Chinese?
I think so. Yeah.
Maybe. ISIS. It was called ISIS.
Yeah.
And then the
ISIS.
terrorist group came out called ISIS.
Yeah.
And then the new people had it. I told them,
Yeah.
you better change that fucking name when I sold it.
It was either that one or the other small one. I can't remember which one it was. But it was one of the first ones.
I know you sold me a lot of fucking apartments.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, over 2,000 units.
Who knows? You had your hand stuck in any pot you could. That's what you got to do.
Still do.
But when you do other shit too, you do shit you never taught me. You never taught me industrial. You do industrial.
Anything with a cap rate is the way to think about our firm, is that, if it's got cap rate and if it's got an income stream to it, that's us. We're not vacant land guys. We're not development guys. We're income driven, cap rate driven type firm.
John keeps it simple. And the best thing about John is you don't get no fucking bullshit out of him. All right? Every deal, he's your fucking advocate. That's the type of broker he is. And somehow he's an advocate, whether you're selling it, whether you're buying it. If he's working for you and he's earning a commission, you got somebody fucking backing you up. You got a hired gun and he's ready to shoot. I mean, he's a smart guy. He taught me a little bit, a whole lot. Okay? A whole fucking lot. But you do anything that has to do with anything, really. I mean, except land development, right?
Yeah, industrial, office, retail. We're also a full service management company. We manage several thousand apartment units as well as retail, office, industrial across the board. So we're
Your wife's still running that, right?
She does. She runs it full
You don't want
time.
to mess with his wife, trust me. She knows what she's doing.
I don't mess with my wife. So.
She knows what she's doing. Well, you've done it all. You helped us tremendously. And there's brokers out there. You just got to find the right broker. I got lucky. I found them while I was in California, but you never know how you're going to find them. You got to talk to people. And then when you see you got some kind of click going here where they know that you're going to help them and they're going to help you, you got to work those relationships. You make money off of working with other people, So, I mean, and then you say because brokers will feed you a lot of bullshit. You know that.
Sure.
And you said you had a concept you want to start. Helping people with that, right?
Yeah. We're in the process of putting together a set of forms that'll basically underwrite an entire deal for you from start to finish, and then we're also in the process of putting together a channel that'll kind of give the layperson the back end of the business and the tricks of the trade that a lot of brokers try to pull off. I mean, we look at pro formas every day that come in on the property management company, and we'll walk away from the deal. And when someone says, well, why would you walk away from business? And well, I can't manage your property for 35% expense ratio that this broker's telling you that it's going to operate at. And I'm not going to be the bad guy a year from now when you come back and say, I'm not making any money. Why am I not making any money? Well, you bought it at a 35% expense ratio.
That's the problem. People buy properties and then they want to turn it over to another company and expect everything to be perfect. Well, if you didn't buy it perfect, you're not going to get perfect. So you're in a very tough position managing other people's money. I can't do it. I refuse to do it. I tried it when I was young. It sucks because you got all the fucking responsibility.
You do.
And they're crying the blues why they're not making money, and they have nothing. They ain't doing shit. You know, I can't work with people like that. You want to be in real estate? I like working with people that get their fucking hands dirty. You know, so I don't know. You. I got blamed for it, but really, you're the reason that my old friend Bob Goldfinger. The story behind it. He was a big shot broker in his day.
He was.
I mean, Bob Goldfinger worked for Marcus and Millichap. He was a big shot broker in Tampa Bay area.
Colliers.
Well, it was Marcus and Millichap for many years.
No,
Yeah.
he when he was Colliers.
Maybe he
though.
transferred, but ever since I know,
Yeah.
I know it's Eminem. And then he left and went to somewhere else. I don't know. They all went everywhere. They all do that. Anyway, long story short, because you sold me that deal. Wait a second. Because you
I
got
flipped it.
because you flipped that deal to me, that first
Right.
deal. He was the broker selling it on the buyer side,
Right.
on the seller side, and the seller was a major fucking REIT.
Right.
I mean, probably the biggest in the country at the time.
Yeah.
And when they found out that, and they gave him a lot of business. When they found out that contract got flipped and he didn't get the top dollar he should have, holy shit, he lost that fucking account.
And they called me.
And he it killed him. It really killed him. He almost had a heart attack. And then I gave him a real heart attack after that had to do with the that deal I bought when the guy died around here. I bought his whole fucking portfolio out.
Oh yeah.
Whitehall.
Yeah.
Then I caused a heart attack
Yep.
because he thought that he was going to buy it. And I
Yep.
said, "You're a fucking broker. You're not a buyer. You want to step to my fucking level? Then come on with it, baby. I'll get that deal before you
Yeah.
will." And he thought he had it all tied up.
Those are all the smaller
Because
properties.
he was trying to get the listing and trying to buy it with partners and all this bullshit. And then when he found out I tied the fucking thing up, he literally had to go to the hospital. The phone dropped when he was yelling at me over the phone in his office. And the kid that worked for him, Tim, whatever, he said, "Fuck, we had to call an ambulance for him that day. We didn't think he was going to make it."
No kidding. I
And,
didn't know that
You
story.
started the heart attack and I finished it. But then luckily he's alive and healthy today. He's a good friend of mine. But
Hey, Ben, you want to get the first caller?
bring him on. Bring him on.
All right, Georgie.
Hey, how you doing?
What's
how
up?
you doing, John? How you doing, Ben?
Turn your mute off.
Oh, how the hell do I do that?
You're good now. Keep talking. You're good. You're good.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I have like my grandfather passed about a year ago, and I have the house under probate, and I was like, I'm in the will to get the property, and I pretty much have like a third of whatever is owed on this reverse mortgage, and I was wondering if there was any like services or like companies that would help like a hard money loan to pretty much like buy the property and like pay off the principal throughout the year or whatever. I was just wondering maybe if you guys had any like leads or what I could contact to possibly get. The house is worth around $650 and I owe like $350 on it, and I pretty much have like $200K up in the bank, but I have the rest of it in cash, and like I can't just go and show up with
All right,
bags of
John,
money.
you got anything to say about probate? You're a probate guy. You do that shit too, don't you?
We do receivership work and probate. Yeah, a lot of it. The one thing I would say to you is that you sounds like you've got enough equity in the deal to go to any local lender and take out the first right away. With that amount of equity, you're talking about almost 50% equity. I don't see any bank in the world not being able to do that deal for you and just take them out once you exit probate.
The other thing too is
Do you have ownership of the house? Did probate good? Is probate over? Do you got legal ownership of the house?
well, right now I'm like it's me and my sister, but my sister's giving me like the all the debt, which I'm okay with, and
She gets
and-
half.
she gets half. I don't care. I might as well pay
All right.
off the house.
Can
I'm
you
trying
buy
to
her
keep-
out now? Can you buy her out? Get her out of the way?
Oh, I bought her a house 7 years ago. She's
Oh, but
cool
now-
with me.
I mean, but the point is this: what do you want to do? You're inheriting a house worth $650, right? You owe your grandfather owned $350 on a reverse mortgage, right?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
so you got $300,000 worth of equity in it. All right, so
Yeah.
what do you want to do? I mean, what's going on with the house right now? You want to sell it? What are you going to
Well,
do?
I mean, I want to Airbnb it and like just maintain. I don't want to lose this. But my grandpa bought this house for like $40K back in the 50s, And it's just, I wouldn't want to lose the house. I want to keep it. I want to put it under a trust, and I want to give it to my nephews. And then after that, I want to take
Well, what do you want to do right now? You want to pull some money out of it? You want to rent it out? What do you want to do?
Well, I mean, I have an efficiency. I'm renting it out. Most of what I'm saying is I'm trying to pay off the house, and I want to know where I could go to get that bank.
I understand. You want to pay it off because you have to pay it off. You want to pay it off.
I want to pay it off, and I'm in the middle of the probate, but I'm trying to find the right bank that's gonna.
All right, so let's say you found a bank that said, "Okay, we'll pay it off." You're still going to owe them the $350.
No, yeah. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. I need somebody. I need a bank that I'm going to owe the $350, but then I can also pay off the principal, not all at one shot, because I can't just go to the bank with $100K and be like, deposit this.
Listen. What John said is true. If you got a house worth $650. And you're only trying to get 50% value. Now, if you're trying to get more than that, they're going to want to say, okay, how are you going to pay us every month? They're going to want to see you. They're going to want to see who you are, what your income is. You got a couple of $100,000 in the bank. That's great. Yeah. So all you got to do is go get qualified to refinance the house. Go to somebody and say, listen, I want to buy this house, or I'm going to inherit this house, and then just see how much money they're going to loan you. You owe any money to anybody? You ever borrowed money before?
I mean, I have good credit and all that. I mean,
what do your tax returns say? How much you make in a year?
Well, that's the whole problem. Is I did a lot of people's taxes.
Don't tell us it's illegal.
No, I did taxes.
It's illegal. Don't tell us on my channel, all right?
No. I
don't like to judge people by appearances, but your ass looks like I don't want to know what the fuck you do for a living. All right? You look like a tough motherfucker to me, boy. I'm just kidding.
I've been hustling since I was 14.
Where are you working, in a brothel right now? Are you running some kind of brothel or something?
It's a little arcade room for this Airbnb I got.
Oh, yeah. Who knows what's going on at Airbnb? I wonder if it's an Airbnb Plus. I don't know what the fucking plus means. It means they change the sheets 3 times a day. Hey, how about Airbnb by the hour? Is that legal, John?
I don't think so.
No.
They got those on 8th Street.
All right,
maybe on 56th Street in
what's
Tampa.
Wrong?
That's about
it.
But
let me ask you a question. Let's take the whole dirty aspect out of it, right? Okay. I don't mean to take your phone call, but if I don't say it now, I'll forget. What is wrong with if I had people that don't need a whole? Have you ever, stayed up late and you got to get up early and you need a fucking room just for 8 hours or 6 hours? Have you ever done that?
I mean,
you've never rented a room and only slept there and got up and got the fuck out overnight on a road trip?
Yeah, maybe.
All right.
Yeah, that's happened.
So why can't we offer hourly rents in a hotel?
Well, I mean, I rent this property out right now, but it's just so so I have income.
So what do you want to do? How much you making a month renting it out in an Airbnb? Or what's the most you can do?
Let's say $7,500.
$7,500 a month. All right, you're doing great. So basically, you need to go get pre-qualified, but you got to show who you are. And
I did my taxes last year, and it showed $50K. I know it's bullshit, but it's what it showed.
And you proved the Airbnb money.
Yeah, now I can.
I've been told banks are starting a loan on some Airbnb.
Yeah.
Have you heard that?
Yeah, they still will.
If you can prove it, you got to put the money in the fucking bank, not in your goddamn mattress.
Yeah.
No, of course. No, I have it in the bank, but not all of it,
Put the fucking money in the bank. Show what you make into a bank. They might go off the bank statements, right?
Yep.
Well, I've been doing that
show
every
the
week.
Bank you no fucking risk. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
You got to build yourself up. You got $200K. Is it legitimately in the bank or is it sticking in the mattress?
No, it's in the bank, and I also am going to get a pledge loan from Navy Federal, and I think they pretty much you could put $100K up. They give you $100K on 2%, and then I would have $300K. I just want debt right now. I really want a lot of debt right now.
Navy Federal Credit Union, did you approach them with the house?
Not yet. I haven't.
Because you know what they'll do? They might approve you, but then they're going to attach, put their hooks in that money you got sitting in their bank, which is okay.
That's fine.
I'm okay. You got to put all your eggs in the fucking table and say, this is what I got. This is who I am. This is what I want to do. And the bank will say yes, no. And if they do say no, they'll tell you why. And then you got to correct the why.
Yeah.
Go to the bank and just give him the fucking property and lay the story on the table. It's a simple story.
Yeah, I'm gonna run in there tomorrow.
Those reverse mortgages, is that the thing when you die?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pay back.
They have to be
bank
paid
interest
off.
or some shit.
Right.
All right. Well, you better get out there. You need to find a loan. Go to Navy Credit Federal first and see what they say. And if they don't want to do it, then you got to keep shopping around because your income is not going to support a loan of $300,000 a month. But you got to bring in the Airbnb money. You got to lay it on the table. Prove the money. Show them the money, and they will loan you money.
Okay.
All right. Good luck. Thanks for the call.
Thank you, man.
I forgot to tell him to come to the show.
He needs to.
Yeah, he super
That's
chats.
for sure.
He needs to come to the show.
For sure. All right. Yeah, we got some super chats, so let's get to it. Thank you, Dylan, for the first super chat of the night. Thank you for the $2. What are your thoughts on Robert Kiyosaki and Dave Ramsey? Have you heard of them? I know
I thought Dave Ramsey was a chef.
You're thinking of Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay.
Dave Ramsey's a fucking Ramsey.
Yeah.
The problem
You know
that
anything about
I
these
have,
guys?
The other guy's the kid money or whatever. Tell your dad money, whatever it is.
yeah, some like I
Yeah.
I
I'm
don't
too
know a
busy
lot.
working and trying to help people out there.
So I don't really know a lot about Robert Kiyosaki, but I know Dave Ramsey. He's a big believer in no debt.
No debt.
Yeah.
Well, if you ain't got no fucking debt, you can't fucking grow. So, I wasn't born rich, and if the bank didn't give me the fucking money, I wouldn't have any money. So, everybody's got their own thing. His thing might be good for him, but to the average fucking person, they ain't got no money. How am I going to buy something with cash?
True.
It's stupid to me, but that's
I need a
just,
rich dad, poor dad guy.
What's that?
Rich-
I never read
Rich
the
Dad,
book.
Poor
Did you ever read
Dad.
the
Yes.
book?
I
You read
did.
the book?
I think
think
that's
so,
the guy
yeah.
he's talking about.
Yeah, I think so.
Rich. I was a poor dad and I went to a rich dad. Okay. So luckily for my kids, I borrowed money from the bank. Instead of being a rich dad and a poor dad, I became a poor dad to a rich dad. What else?
All right. Shout out Tyler. Thank you for the $4.99. W Ben. Appreciate it. That
Thank you
means
very much,
W stands
Tyler.
for win. So
Yeah.
all right. Shout out Bobby. Thank you for the $1. Shout
What
out
dollar, you cheap
Charles.
motherfucker?
Shout out Charles Matta. Appreciate the super chat. Hello, Ben and Aaron from San Antonio, Texas. I'm still learning the basics. How do you and your sons get paid for your hard work since you like to do 1031?
Simple. You use the 1031 money, you buy the fucking property you have to use it to replace, you get into that property, you fix it up, you stabilize it, it might be worth a little more money even then, and then you get a refinance. And then you get some of your 1031 money back. That's how we make money. And when we get that money back in a refinance, it's a non-taxable event. Simple. Go to bitmal.com/consult if you need further instructions. I was about to say something. Listen, you guys better get some tickets because I need those rooms filled. Listen, I'm not a bullshitter. Okay, I'm not a bullshitter.
You are not.
Okay, my hotels are fucking need money to pay the bills. You know why? Normally they weren't doing so good to begin with. I'll show you my mortgage statement. If you come to the show, I'll bring a mortgage statement with me, and I'll show you my interest rates are double right now. Okay, I need revenue. So if you care about us like we care about you, you're going to book a ticket, you're going to come stay in a hotel, and you're going to help us make some revenue on October 15th. I will consider it a personal favor to me and my family because we're losing our shirt right now. And fat people can't afford to lose shirts. We got to lose weight, not shirts. You got a caller.
You gotta call it.
Uh-oh. Hey,
Oh.
what's up?
What's up, Brent?
Hey, hello. How are you?
Fine, how are you?
Great. I'm here in Oregon.
I'm sorry.
It's not too bad. I have a
Middle of
beautiful
nowhere. I can see the screen. John likes that shit.
I
All that
do.
outdoors shit, You know anything about Oregon?
I've been to Oregon.
He's been to Oregon.
It's not a bad view.
All right, all right.
That's the good part of Oregon there.
Yeah, this is a nice part of Oregon.
Where were they protesting in the streets and taking over the city at?
Portland.
Portland,
Well-
Oregon. There you go.
That's Portland. We're not in
Portland
Portland.
to me. All right, so what you got for us? Give us something good, Porty.
Well, what I have is 50 acres that is 3/4 of a mile of riverfront, and it's EFU, and I have it
EFU?
connected. EFU, exclusive farm use, and I have that connected
What do you say?
to my
Farm use.
yeah. I have it connected to my
That sounds like
restaurant.
some of that shit from Georgia. Maybe I don't know. Go ahead. EFU, exclusive farm. What?
Use.
Use. So I didn't know. Now everybody else out there knows. Tell us
Sorry
what that
about that.
means. What does that mean?
That means that I I'm entitled to certain things. That means that I can use the camp. I can put in a campsite there, campground, as long as it doesn't exceed a certain percentage of the income.
There's a lot of things you can't do too, right?
There's a lot of things I can't do, but part of that would be part 2 of the question. So I bought this property, and I'm trying to put a campground into it. But 4 years before I bought the property, bull was out in front of the property of mine, and it hit a diesel tanker, and the diesel spilled all over about 6 acres. They changed out about 6 acres, and they have about 15 monitoring wells in that area, and one of them is still testing hot for petroleum. So I'm in a huge fight saying that the land is contaminated, and the state's actually agreeing with me because they don't want to change any land. Oregon's a little weird. They don't want to change any land along the river. Like, I'm originally from St. Petersburg, the Seminole area, and if I were to describe what I have, it'd be like Bay Pines, which would be Park Street before it was all developed. And so they don't allow anyone to develop on there. And they're going to allow me to either turn it into R2, R5, or into a campground. But in the meantime, that's going to be about a 2 to 3 year process. So in the meantime, I'm trying to monetize it. And I just started a restaurant that's connected to the farm. It's Tyee Landing in Oakland, Oregon. And my goal is to it's world-class fishing there. So all year round, it's one of the few rivers in the country that has year-round fishing with salmon, steelhead, and sturgeon and striped bass. And that might not mean anything to you, but it's comparative to like Boca Grande, Florida.
This is really big right now. It's major.
Yes, it is.
You know,
So
promoted to get people out there. But let's get back to the dirty land real quick. I don't mean to cut you off. Listen, I've dealt with dirty land. You've dealt with dirty land.
many times.
What happened to the guy that polluted it? Is he gone? He's off the hook?
the guy, yeah, he's off the hook.
No insurance, nothing?
They got insurance. They got paid out, and then I ended up buying the property last year.
All right, so right now they're saying you got contaminants in the dirt. They already took a lot of the dirt out, but you still got contaminants in it?
Within the water. It's in the groundwater.
It's in the fucking groundwater. Well,
Yep.
you know, and is there any way of there's no way of getting rid of it or what?
But there is an enzyme they can pump into the ground. If it depends on what type of fuel it was.
Have
if it
you
was
been
diesel
handed
or
a price to
gasoline.
clean it up? Do you know what it costs to clean it up?
Well, if I were to clean it up, they're going to make it stay EFU. I can get it deemed non-resourceable as it is.
So that better for you?
That's better for me. That would
All
turn
right,
it in. That would take it to about an acre and a half is selling for about $350,000 with bare land out here, and I got 50 of them right there on the riverfront. So it's
Have you said
$350 an acre.
350 times 50 is like $15 million.
yeah, it's a huge thing.
Listen. Can you sell that fucking? What are you stuck? You want to be in the woods? Get that money. Can you get? How much did you pay for this shit?
Could you repeat that again? Sorry.
How much did you pay for this wonderful, dirty lake waterfront place?
530 with 110 up front.
All right. So basically, you're telling me how much can you walk away tomorrow with if you
I
sold the
can
whole
sell
fucking
right
thing?
now for about 8 to 9.
Oh my God. And you go back to Seminole, and live like a normal life. I mean, listen, how much money you got in the fucking bank?
Well, I got I'll be able to
Not
develop.
$8 million, right?
I'm equity rich and cash poor right now.
Well, and that's what your problem is. Why are you holding on to this fucking land when you hit a home run and can make $8 million, even if you're paying the fucking tax on it? Why? Have you ever gonna have a chance to make that kind of money in the rest of your life?
I mean, even $8 million put
come
in
No,
in
I
a
have not
treasury
had that
bond
You're
is
sitting on a pot of
4%.
gold, but you don't want to fucking cash it in.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you doing? You're sitting on $8 million in fucking Oregon with a property you paid $500,000 for. I mean, I don't understand what the problem is. Can you sell that property tomorrow and get millions of fucking dollars? Can you?
eventually. The only reason I was thinking about it is because I'm from the hemp industry, so I have
You want to grow
Problem.
marijuana there?
no hemp, not marijuana. But what is happening is that I have the licenses for hemp. I have a grower's license for hemp.
So can't
the
you take that
state's
$8 million
saying
and buy a nice place to grow it?
Well, yeah, but see, that's exactly right.
You could 1031 into the fucking thing
Yeah.
and not pay no tax. I don't understand why would somebody have no money in a fucking bank? And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to pick on you. I'm just telling you my feeling. Why are you sitting there with this fucking dirty, the land is dirty, you know what the hell to do with, make a campground, you got a restaurant, you got $8 fucking million you get your hands on and start a fucking real life. I don't understand. Maybe I'm missing a piece of the puzzle here.
Because I moved from Florida with about $700 about 8 years ago, and
That's
I've come
even
to where
more
I'm at.
reason. That's even more
I know.
reason.
Well, the problem
When
is
the hell
that
is a guy like you ever going to get his hands on $8 million fucking dollars and then have a plan to reinvest it without paying tax? You go, sell that fucking shit tomorrow. I don't care if you get $5 million. Come on, let's be honest here. How much money you got in the bank right now? Nothing really, right? Not much.
about 40.
All right, 40 grand. You're a fucking multi-millionaire. You got an opportunity to be. If what you're telling me is true, you need to get the fuck up out of there and take those millions of dollars and laugh your way to the bank. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. What do you want me to tell you?
Just
Start a fucking
monetize it.
campground and rent the fucking people coming in to fish with their campers? I mean, give me a break. You're going to make that kind of money and move the fuck on. You got to know when the party's over. Your party's here. If you wait till the party's over, you're going to have shit, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, just consider that, if you can pull out $8 million out of that deal, 1031 that into a triple net lease deal somewhere at,
He
let's
wants
say
to grow hemp. Let him go buy a
even at a
fucking-
5
No,
cap,
no, no, no,
hey,
no, no, no. No, I don't
even
want
at
to
a
grab
5 cap, that's $400,000 a year in net income across the board. Are you able to pull $400,000 a year out of that property if you develop it into a campground?
I believe so. Yes.
You believe so, but you don't know. Wait,
Well,
he's telling you to invest. You know.
Off of the first 5 spots that I'm planning on putting in, it'll revenue about $75,000 for the first year, and I could expand on that. Just
What do you
depending
need
on.
a campground anyway? You talking about people coming there fucking RVs or tents or what? What are they going to do? They're going to pay
Yeah.
you to go there and fish?
Yeah.
Listen, you better get your hands in that fucking money. Then go buy a fucking place like that. It sounds like you're more passionate than you are thinking numbers. I mean, it sounds like you're really a passionate person, and this is like something you dream is about or something. I mean, is that the case?
No, it just ended up. I've been across the
old are
country.
you? How old are you?
39.
Come on now, you're almost fucking 40. You got a chance to get millions of fucking dollars in your hand and do whatever the fuck you want. That's what you need to do. All right. You're talking about developing something that you're uncertain about. It's not proven. You don't know. It's a great place, but nobody knows the fuck about it. Stop. Get the fucking money. All right. I'm just telling you what I would do if I was you. Get the fucking money. Money, cash is king, baby. Then you can do all kinds of shit.
I'll second what Ben said.
Fuck that. You got 40 grand versus 8 million. Take the fucking 8 million.
Yep. Put 1031 it, put it into triple
I don't
net
know
and
what to
live off the cash flow the rest of your life.
I mean, do something. You can do anything you want. You got $8 million fucking dollars to work with. You know, you can do the hemp, you can do the fishing, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Get the fucking money. All right. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you unless there's something else you want to tell me to this puzzle.
Nope. I was going to try to, the only thing I would say is that's going to be about a 2.5-year process.
No bank's going to loan you any money. You know that.
Huh?
No bank is going to loan you any money. You know that. Nobody's going to come there, a bank, and say, okay, I'm going to loan you money on a piece of land. It's not generating any income right now, right?
Correct.
Then the bank ain't going to loan you shit. So you're stuck with a fucking asset you can't leverage. But if some guy wants to buy it and pay you millions of fucking dollars, you better hurry up and find a fucking seat for that ass. You got the seat, he's got the ass, and you better fucking do it, man. That's all I can tell you. Don't make me come down to argue and kick your ass. I swear to God, if you don't fucking sell that property and become a multi-millionaire in the next fucking month or so, I'm going to have to personally, and I hate arguing. You're going to make me come down here and fuck you up. That's what you're going to do.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I hate to see people have access and opportunity and they're not exercising it. I mean well. I mean my best wishes.
No, you're right.
Right, listen, it ain't easy becoming a multi-millionaire. All right? You fucking walked into it, you better fucking do it. The guy that you bought it from didn't know it was worth millions of dollars, or it wasn't worth it back then.
All right. Well, no, you're saying
right
what
now,
I've been told by other people.
Before you sell that property, it's already got dirt, oil on it. I hope you get away with that.
Right.
You better get rid of those fucking bodies you got buried there. I can tell you that too. All right.
They're very deep.
Anything else?
No, sir. I just want to say
right.
thank you. I appreciate your show.
Go next time I talk to you, better be a fucking multi-millionaire.
Hey, you get a chance, come on out here. Come see my place. It's the best damn place you'll see. Tidy Landing, Oakland, Oregon.
October 15th, come to Tampa. Come back and see your all hangout in Seminole.
Hey,
John Burke,
I'll go.
you-
Hey,
you
I used
Seminole.
to drive past your place all the time. How I saw you was I was on the YouTube thumbnail. I saw this house. I go, that looks like Ryan Howard's house. What the hell's going on there? Some fucking guy in front of it. And
Yes,
hell, I
great
clicked
guy.
on it, and here we are.
Well, here we are, and you got a chance to come to our event next month, and you got a chance to be a multimillionaire. All right, I want the best for you, so you better do it. All right, good luck to you. Thanks
you.
a lot. Take care.
Is that
People
the
need
lead?
help.
Is that the lead the horse to water thing?
I don't
Is that
know,
what
but
that is?
people need help, and I want to help them, but they got a click in their head. I know you got no money. I can have a lot of money. What do I do? It's simple. You know, I mean, I hope he fucking sells that property and gets that money and comes back to Seminole and then come see John Burpee and he'll sell you a real fucking investment. Okay. What else we got?
That's crazy. Shout out Grant.
And by the way, his name's John Burpee, and the first property he sold me was on Belcher
That's
Road.
right.
I had Burpee and Belcher.
Yep, you got it. Yep.
All right. Shout out Roger. Thank you for the super sticker. Appreciate that. And then shout out Jonathan Pitty. Thank you for the $50.
All right, thank you. He's gonna be plenty of sausage for the pull-up.
Thank you.
All right. I have a 27 unit property that I bought early this year for 2.3 million, and I owe 1.8 on it. My new rents average 1,200 to 1,300 per unit. Starting to refi now. Any suggestions for getting a good appraisal for a new $2.6 million loan?
Well, you don't have to change. You don't have the choice to get a good appraisal. The banks are picking the appraisers today, so you don't even have an input on that. They have to put it out to their approved appraiser list, and then of course it'll be dependent upon what the market values are, what your rent,
What you got to do to
your
get a
NOI.
good appraisal?
Well, you got to get your NOI to max out, and it's all based on cap rate and net operating income. And where your expenses are, expenses have to be within market range, because appraisers aren't stupid today. They're not just going to take your numbers and say, I can operate this thing for 25% expense ratio. It doesn't work that way anymore.
27 ain't too bad.
Yeah.
But listen, you better make sure you got every fucking rent up. That's the ticket. You need to have every rent you can at that new rate. Okay, because it sounds like you bought them at an old rate. You've been raising rents, which is really smart. You increased your goddamn equity and value in the property. And I'm going to tell you right now, believe it or not, I don't know. It works for me. Try to doll the place up a little. All right. I don't know what your front is, but pictures tell 1,000 words. It may not get you a whole lot more money, but it makes the bank happy when they look at it. Pictures are nice. Fix up the front, landscape paint, whatever you can do, spruce it up, and lay it on the table, and just treat. And if you can't get all your rents up by the time you have the appraisal, it'll show that you have a track record of doing it, and then even show the guy a schedule of when you can raise those rents up.
Right.
So he'll see the light coming at the end of the tunnel there for you, and that'll help you too. But
I just did some quick math for you real quick, and you should have any problem qualifying for that kind of a loan on 2.6 loan. It just depends on what your market is. I don't know where you're at in the
loan
area.
at 2.6.
Yeah.
How much is the place going to be worth? It's going to be worth 20% more than that.
Yeah.
If he's got let's see, I don't know. He's got about, what has he got? 35 grand a month coming in?
35 grand a month. Yep.
35 grand a month coming in. He might get, he should get it. He should get it. I'm sure expenses aren't much.
About a $4 million deal, maybe a little less.
Hopefully you're managing it yourself and you have low expenses. All right. Well, good luck to you. Get the place, show the guy the money. And if the numbers work, the numbers work, right?
Yeah.
All right. What else you got?
IB Crypto, thank you for the $10. Talk about writing off cap gains via opportunity zones.
Ooh, you know about opportunity zones?
I don't mess with them.
The only thing I know is you got to hold the place for 10 years or something like that.
Yep.
And then you don't have to pay capital gains. Is that true? I think?
Right. You don't have to
I
pay
mean,
capital gains.
I don't know. You write off capital gains, opportunity zones. I don't think you get to capitalize on the opportunity zone until you've owned it for 10 years. You've earned the right. Then.
Right. You just defer the tax is all you do. You don't have to pay the capital gains tax. So.
Well, you don't pay it till you sell anyway.
Right.
So basically, you got to earn that right to have opportunity zone by owning it for 10 years.
I think maybe he was asking his capital improvements rather than capital gains, if he can write off the capital improvements rather than putting it on the balance sheet.
I don't think one thing has enough to do with the other. To me, opportunity zone just means you hold it for 10 years and you're off the hook for capital gains. That's what I know about opportunity zones. Look it up, talk to an attorney or accountant. Accountant's probably the best person to talk to. I mean, but you can always you can depreciate your expenses but CapEx, if you talk about CapEx, then that gets depreciated, right?
Right.
There you go. All right, good luck to you. What
right.
else we got?
Shout out Jake, appreciate the super chat. Also shout out to EO, thank you for the $6.99. Samuel Sanchez, thank you for the super chat. Any tips for new realtors? I'm working in South Florida.
How long you been a realtor, John?
34 years.
He's working in San Francisco. Hey, I got a hot tip for you. My ex-partner wants to sell his house in Sausalito. All right.
Call Ben for a referral.
So, I mean, you hired and fired a lot of new realtors over your career.
Yeah. The one thing I can tell you is that be honest. Your reputation is what brings you to stay in the business for 30 plus years. And a lot of people are not going to like what you say, but if you tell them point blank where the market's at on that day, and a week from that day, the market changes and the Fed raises rates another 3/4 of a point like they did yesterday. The market's changed from yesterday until today. Bank underwriting has changed from yesterday until today. They may not like what you want to hear, but it's your honesty is what's going to bring you forward in the market.
It's a tough position to be in right now because you're the realtor. You're stuck in the middle.
Right.
The seller doesn't want to realize you got to come down in price.
That's correct.
The numbers don't fucking work. The interest rate's too high, and then you got to convince the buyer that can't afford as much anymore why he can't find a deal because he doesn't qualify for so much because the interest rates went up too. So you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. It's gonna be very tough. But I'm going to tell you one thing: if you're a new realtor, number one, go to work for somebody like John or an office that's making fucking money, and then latch on to the person that's making money, kiss a lot of ass, bust your ass, back them up, show them you're dedicated, and then latch on to a good team or somebody that's making money, and then you'll make money.
Yeah. You get in with a group that knows the market and, become a specialist. If you're going to be a commercial guy, become a specialist. Be the guy that everybody knows is the apartment guy or is the industrial guy or is the retail guy in that market. And, if you're from San Francisco, obviously you can't cover the entire Bay Area, but, maybe you cover whatever segment, whatever neighborhood or a 3-5 mile radius of that area, and you just carpet it. You go out and talk to people, go out and meet owners of properties, go out and meet the investment groups.
You ever been to the, what's that area in San Francisco? I worked at Tenderloin.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Don't go to Tenderloin. No. Okay. You're only going to find homeless there and they ain't buying or selling. But, listen, seriously, the way I made money in life, no matter what you do in life, latch on to somebody that's already fucking made it. Okay. And then do what they do better. That's what I try to do with my ex-boss and partner. Get around people making money. Don't waste your time beating your head against the fucking wall trying to start off in real estate. Get around people already making fucking money in real estate. That's how you'll make real estate as a new person. And if I was you, if you're commercial, I go to Marcus and Millichap. That's their headquarters.
Yeah.
If you're residential, go to the most expensive, put the nicest suit on you got, and go try to work for the office that's handling the multi-million-dollar deals.
Yeah.
Because then if you get a piece of that, you get bigger commissions with less deals, and you're around people making money, the higher class of people. That's when you have a real estate license, it's a license to make money, and it's a license to get in there with the richest people in the world. We have a caller. Hello, caller. How are you today?
Good. How are you? Can you hear me?
Good. I can hear you. How are you?
Good. I'm good. My name's Cade. I'm calling from outside of Fort Worth, Texas. And I just have a quick question for both y'all and mainly your broker here. I'm going to be a new commercial real estate agent here in the next week. But ultimately, my goal is to break into the investment side. So what is y'all's opinion on brokers acting in dual capacity as an investor and a broker at the same time?
Well, first, congratulations on becoming a broker. I can tell you that in Florida, we have what's called transaction brokers, and just about every commercial broker in the state acts as a transactional broker where we represent both buyer and seller across the board. Over the last 5 or 6 years, commissions have become so compressed that you really can't, you don't have enough fee in the deal to offer a co-brokerage fee in our market, especially in the apartment markets. It's been that way for 10 years here now. One-sided, they're called one-sided deals. Buyer's broker, if he wants a buyer wants a broker, the buyer compensates the broker themselves. So, you know, if you look at it across the board, you know, you become that specialist and, you know, just get into that area where you're at, and you keep working towards that goal of
What would your investor part of it? You talk about being an investor and a broker at the same time, meaning you want to do your own
You
investments?
want to do your own deals? You want to buy your own
like
deals?
he does?
Yeah, we do that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's where you make your money. You know,
Problem was when John used to feed me a bunch of deals. Then he made so much money, I stopped seeing the deals. You know why? Because John was buying them. That's life. That's the way it works. You're a fucking broker. You get first access to it. If you got the fucking money to do the deal, you got to take care of yourself first.
Yep.
You know, he's got a family to feed. He's got a fucking life and a career to live.
Yep.
You know, so is that what you're talking about? Being a broker? How you just becoming one? When'd you pass the test?
Last week.
Congratulations. Now, so you're a sales associate. That's what it's called. And what are you going to do? Commercial, residential, commercial?
Commercial, retail, and some farm and ranch.
All right. Well, you got to pay your dues. Are you getting with a broker that's already making money in that field?
Yes, I'm actually with a sole broker, so he has no agents, not a big corporate company, but he actually does very, very well. He does some developing, and I'm getting some good, you know, training, one-on-one.
Great. You can't beat the fuck. Let me tell you something.
That's the way to
Don't
go.
worry about the fucking money. I mean, you always got to worry about the money. But you know what, people, how old are you? About 21?
22.
22. Listen, at your age, the experience that you're getting, like when I was 21 and 22, is worth more than getting paid a little extra money right now. The experience is what's going to make you millions. Okay, so you're on the right track, and that's great. As soon as if you talk about investing your own money as an investor and a broker, you got to wait till you get enough money. Or maybe you and that guy can do a deal. I don't know, but you got to have the money to be an investor. You got to have the income. You got to have the ability to borrow money. Work your way right now into being a broker and learning whatever you can from this guy and getting as much knowledge as you can. And then as the money comes in, try to stack as much as you can and get to the point where you can put your own deal together.
All right.
Worked for him.
Come to Florida.
No, stay in Texas. He's in a specialty. You're doing like some kind of specialty real estate, right?
Right.
You're a retail developer. Is that that's who you're working for?
Yes.
Yeah.
Those guys make big
fantastic.
bucks. They take fucking dirt and they turn it into fucking shopping centers.
Yep.
I love those guys. I buy from them because I'm not smart enough to do what they do.
That's the ultimate value add.
It is, especially construction prices starting to come down again, I heard.
They are. Yeah.
So, you know, but anyway, I mean, that's what you got to do. All right. Learn. Then when you got enough money to do a fucking deal you think makes sense, jump in that deal, put it together.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Ben.
Hey, but I'm going to tell you the most important part about retail. You want to know what it is?
I would love to.
The fucking tenants. Knowing who the tenants, knowing how to reach out to a fucking Target or reach out to a big brand, Starbucks, and knowing how to get them to commit. These guys get them to commit to the fucking deal before they even buy it.
Right.
They already got the whole thing laid out. They buy the land, they got the tenant, they build the building, the tenant moves in, and it's worth double.
It's prepackaged.
It's the greatest fucking thing in the world. So learning about tenant relationships is a major fucking thing to make money. If I had tenant relationships, I'd be fucking golden right now, but I don't. So that's I'm telling you, learn about tenants, okay?
Okay. Thank you all so much.
All right, take care.
Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, Carla's here, so she's gonna make me stop cursing. God damn it! What else we got, Aaron? Anything?
The queen has
Yeah.
entered the building.
God damn. What happened to that one super chat? I
There are
just had
good
a,
queens and there are bad queens. Depends what day it is with her. What do you got, Aaron?
one sec. I'm
One
looking for
second.
the
Aaron's
super
having
chat.
a technical difficulty. All right, you got no more callers, right? Well, then put somebody
Yeah.
on.
Let's get a
Pull
caller
up.
on. I have some
Andy,
issues
there's
right
Andy.
now.
Excellent.
Andy.
All
What's
right.
up? What's up, Mandy?
How's it going, man? How's it
How
going?
are you? How are
Aaron?
you? Nice to
Pretty
see you
good.
back. All right. How's it going? He came to the show.
Oh,
We
yeah.
hung out. He flirted with my wife. He drank some margaritas, and he had a good fucking time.
He did a private meeting.
He did a private meeting. Man, this guy's a major customer to me. I got to be nice to him.
I remember him from one of the videos in the Mexican flag in the background. I remember you talking to him one time.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, he's been on the podcast before. He's
Yeah.
great. All right, so what's up today? What'd you do today?
Well, I was just doing like a surf thing at my work, but I had a real estate question. So my parents, they have a house, right? I'm living in it right now. It's in a 2.5 acre lot, and
We were talking about this last week. You want to do it again? Let's do it again.
nah,
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
but it's so like I said, there's like so we're only using for this house probably like 0.7 acres. It's still like there's like a 1.5 acres that's like vacant. We can build on it. So I went to the city to see what I can do. And they gave me a list, and they said that I need a special permit if I wanted to build, which was my idea, to build a duplex or a fourplex, because in the entryway, because it's a pretty good area, because it's a neighborhood. And they said I can build retail here, but it's a neighborhood. Like, why would I build a retail center in a neighborhood? I feel like that's weird. So I was gonna say,
You know what a bodega is?
Huh?
You know what a bodega is?
Bodega?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is.
You can open up a bodega and all your neighbors come over and buy shit from you, you know? I'm just kidding.
But
I don't know. Zoning is weird. But, you know, I think, you know, what you should do is, if I was doing what you were doing, I'm not smart enough to do it. He might be, but I always consult with an engineer. My son hires a company, Impad or somebody like that, and they pretty much deal with the city and try to find out if it's worth the trouble of fighting them to get the zoning I want. But what's your question? I mean, they said you can't do a duplex or a fourplex.
I said I need a special permit. I can do it, but it's a permit. I was like,
well, what's it take to get the special permit? That's the next question.
Yeah, is it a special permit or special exception? There's a big difference.
The paper, it says special use permit required, which is they basically got to like make sure the land is good. They got to make sure the
yeah, so it's a use change is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's not that many hoops to jump through, then why don't you do it?
Well,
talk to a professional that does it for a living.
It says building retail. They said they like that, or like offices for dental people, or like doctors, chiropractors. They said like they want that in the neighborhood because they zoned it.
Right, you're probably right, and let me tell you, it's a lot cheaper to build that than it is residential.
Yeah, true.
Because all you're doing is building a box. I mean, if they're telling you that, I would talk to a civil engineer and verify that would make sense. Number one, because he knows the business, and but what about chopping it up and selling some of that shit off? Can you do that?
Well, yeah, but that would be better, like more easier, right? But the thing is, you can add more value if you build what is it called again?
If you build something on it, you know, then you can rent it out, then it has value.
That's
well, let me ask you a question. If you did put a line in a place, kept the lamp in a house, and then whatever you had left, an acre or whatever it would be, how much could you sell that for today? You know?
Around, because it's close, like right next to the highway, I'd say about 150, 200,000.
I mean, you got to sit down and figure out if you know, because you're gonna have the cost of building that building. You got the money to build the building? Well,
yeah, like 100. Yeah, because it'll be like a small building, so 100,000. I feel like you feel like that'll be enough for like a 2,000 square.
No.
Construction cost.
Let me tell you something. If you don't have the money,
$200 a square foot.
When you start building on a piece of land, you got to go all the fucking way. You got to build on every inch that they'll let you build on. Okay, if you're gonna go construction, you better go all the goddamn way. So if you ain't got the money to go out and build, I don't know how big of a building they'll let you build there, because you're gonna need parking and shit like that. You got to find all these things out. That's why you need to go to a civil engineer. Yeah. He'll tell you, all right, this is what you can do. You can build a building up to 10,000 square feet. You'd have to have parking, blah, blah, blah. It's going to cost you this, that, and this. It's going to be major, okay? Because my son builds $1 million, brought him like a, I don't know, 5,000 square foot building or something. Or these days,
$200 a square foot. That's
so anyway, listen, finished, yeah. But I don't know. It sounds like unless you got the money to build, I mean, a duplex or a triplex, go that route and see, because maybe you can afford to build that.
But the city planner said that it's rare. He doubts that they would do that. But
then you're stuck. I don't know. Honestly, you may want to just sell it off and let somebody else do it if you ain't got the money to do it. At least you're pocketing $150,000, and that's better than what you got today, right? It helps, right?
For my parents,
you take the $150,000, and then that'll help them some other way in life.
Yeah, they can do that.
But otherwise, if the guy at the city doesn't encourage it, then I wouldn't waste your time with it. Okay. And then you could do this. You could put a sign up, find out, go back to the city or talk to a civil engineer, find out what is the minimum allowable land that you need to maintain for the existing property.
Right.
And then how much can you salvage off to sell? And then put a fucking sign up there for sale.
Okay.
And that's what I would start doing. All right. And then just get the biggest piece you can. Maybe you split up into 2 parcels, right?
Yeah.
You never know. That's why you need a civil engineer. But I'd go the sale route for you because it sounds more feasible.
You're going to need to do a survey and get a new legal description drafted of the whole property in order to break that parcel out. And then if the property's got a mortgage on it, you're going to have to get your bank to release that property. You know,
You got a mortgage on it?
Sale.
Your parents got a mortgage?
So-
Yeah, they have 80,000 left on it.
80,000. How much is the house worth?
It's worth 450.
Okay.
You need to carve that damn land out. You
Carve
got
it
plenty of
out.
equity in there.
Yeah.
Yes,
Carve
sir.
that land out. That's what I would do.
Pay the house off, put the money in the bank, get an equity loan after that.
All right.
With the money you get from the land, you can pay the house off and still have money in your pocket.
Yeah.
Okay, one final quick thing.
Are you
John,
coming on October 15th?
I'm gonna be honest, I can't go, but I'm gonna zoom
I
in.
know, I'm just kidding. I appreciate you coming to Fort Lauderdale. It really meant a lot. You came all the way from where?
North Carolina, Charlotte.
North Carolina, Charlotte. You know, that's a long fucking trip, and I appreciate it.
It's a nice
Yeah.
area, though. Beautiful area.
6-hour delay.
What else you got?
I was gonna ask John, what's the best way to get like a big shot broker interested? Because I feel like he's busy. He has all the stuff he has to do. What would make you
Interested in what? What do you want him to do?
just like working with them, like someone that's like at least not starting out with bigger deals? Like,
But look, we don't turn anybody away in our organization. You know, we have brokers that yesterday I closed on a duplex. Next week I've got a little corner deal closing. So, it's more of you have to prove your ability to do the deal. If you come to me and you say, "Hey, John, I've got $50,000 in the bank and I want to buy $1 million property,"
yeah,
we're not doing a deal. Okay. But if you say, "Hey, I want to buy a duplex," and you're realistic about it, we can then walk you through the process. Like Ben said, get you talking to the direct banks, get you talking to the right guys across the board, tell you what you can expect, do your underwriting for you, give you an idea of what's in the market, and just be real on your side. I mean, there's a lot of fakers out there. Let's face it. I get 100 calls a month from fakers.
Don't waste your time with brokers that don't do it exactly
Right.
what you're looking to do.
Right.
And then, like he said, prove it to the broker. You can do the deal. You got to do your homework first. Make sure you got the money lined up to do the deal.
yeah.
Otherwise, wasting his time and everybody's time.
Yep.
But, first focus on this land. Go find out how much land you need to keep with that house and how much you can sell off. Because the more you can sell off, the more money you're going to make your parents.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
And think about it. If you can pull 150 grand out of that deal in your market, you should be able to buy a duplex or a triplex for that kind of money, free and clear. Now, how much cash flow is that bringing them in?
Yeah, 150,000 can buy you like what, 650,000 like a property. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, find out your money's in the land. Find out how much money you get out of that land. That's what I would do first. All right.
Appreciate the help, and everyone that's watching, just make sure I go to the event. I really liked it, and it was enjoyable, and y'all should join there too. It's pretty good. I liked it.
I appreciate it. Thanks for coming. I really do.
All right,
How was the hotel?
I was-
And you stay in a hotel?
Yeah, I stayed at the hotel Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Remember 3
Holy
days?
shit. 3 days you stayed in that hotel, boy. That's a real loyal reviewer right there. And were the sheets clean?
Yeah, for sure. Just that, like you said, it was like going through renovation, so there was certain stuff that wasn't all the way.
Hey, I'll talk about that. I'm waiting for furniture to come from China. All right? I'm waiting for the furniture, but you had 2 rooms, didn't you? 2-room suite, right? You had a living room, you had a bedroom, you had big screen TV in both rooms, you had a wet bar with a refrigerator and a microwave,
Yeah.
and you had a view of the train, right?
Yes, sir.
And the train woke you up at 2 in the morning. I hate that.
Nah, I sleep good. Trust me.
Oh, okay. I really do appreciate you spending all that money coming down and hanging out with us. All right.
Appreciate it.
All right,
Yeah.
man, thank you. Good luck to you. Go find out how much that damn land's worth. Make that money for mama and papa. What else?
All right. Shout out Andrew. Thank you for a super chat. I currently own a $500,000 house and have about 100 grand equity in it. Should I leverage that to purchase an investment property? But I also don't want to over leverage.
You only got 20% equity in it.
That's borderline.
I mean, you could go get a HELOC if you live in it, but you're not going to get no loan on it if it's income property.
Yeah.
I mean, if you live in it, you might squeeze 10% of, leave 90% in it, so you can squeeze like what, 50 grand out of it?
50,000 max.
I mean, I don't think you're ready. I mean, you're in a safe zone right now. At least you got 100 equity in your house. But if you can squeeze a HELOC out of it for 50 grand, and then maybe put that 50 grand to work on maybe a 250 deal, it's possible. You could do it if you could find a 250 deal and put the 50 grand down, and the property has income and you qualify. I mean, anything's possible if you try. Go to the bank and see if they'll give you a HELOC for 50 grand.
Yeah. That's your best bet. There's no way you're going to be able to pull any equity out past that.
All right. Oh, keep trying, keep saving, and try to get your hands on some money and do little deals. I did a shitload of little deals when I started out. I did deals for 27.5, I remember. I did deals for 30 grand. Whatever it took, it inched me up until the inches became a foot.
Yep.
Okay. Then I put my foot in my mouth, and now I'm stuck with all this shit. What else we got?
Here's an interesting super chat. Shout out Gun Glutton. I think my home inspector missed foundation issues. I pointed out several cracks in the foundation and garage floor, and he told me just to keep an eye on it. I think it's a bigger issue. What can I do?
He ain't the right home inspector.
Yeah, that's he missed something.
I mean, and then they have people that specialize in concrete that know this shit, right?
Yeah.
Foundation engineers.
Foundation.
If you're really
engineer.
serious, you might want to. If you had a home inspector and he fucked you over, I mean, I'm sorry if that's the story. It's the story. Get a fucking engineer. Throw somebody in an engineer. Get him to come over and do what they call seismic or whatever they call it, and find out what the story is, because you don't want to have a fucking house where you got problems with the foundation. It's just going to get worse.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on. Yeah, it's going to get worse. I'm going to watch it. That's the stupidest thing I ever heard. So you might want to throw a few bucks in an engineer, get an engineer out there, get an inspection, and if he finds fucking serious issues with the foundation and the fucking seller didn't tell you and the home inspector didn't tell you, then I'd go after their ass.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, that's life. You can't hide shit like that.
Yeah.
And this guy's got a business and you paid him money to fucking inspect the house. Then, you go hire an engineer and find out what the real story is. That's the guy that's going to tell you.
And most of those guys have E&O insurance. So, you file a claim against their E&O coverage if your engineer comes back with a report that's different than his, because the engineer's got the license, the inspector doesn't.
Do it, do it. Fuck that. Keep an eye on it. Fuck you. You keep an eye on it. All right. Anything else?
All right, yeah. Thank you again, Crypto, for the $20. Ben, can you talk about offsetting capital gains via opportunity zones? Is that what you were
Again, with the
looking for?
opportunity zones. The only thing I know about opportunity zones are you don't benefit until you own them for 10 years.
Right.
Once you own it for 10 years, yes, you don't pay any capital gains. Can they offset other capital gains? I don't think so. Talk to the accountant. All right. I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm not going to tell you shit that I don't know. If I don't know it, I'm going to say I don't know it. And that's all I know about opportunity zones. For you to qualify to benefit of opportunity zone and sell it and not pay capital gains tax, you got to own that shit for 10 goddamn years. That's all I know. And I think that's all there is to it. But talk to the accountant. All right. Offsetting other capital gains, you can do that with other things. Like I asked my accountant today, I want a meeting. The money I'm losing at fucking stock exchange, does it pay for me to take the fucking losses to offset the real estate gains? Yes, it does. That's the way it works. But, when you start talking about opportunity zones, I don't think that the ability to offset current gains are there.
I don't think it is. No.
Talk to the accountant. Don't take word from me. I don't know shit. I'll be honest.
I do know this, that there is a very good section on the IRS.gov section that talks about opportunity zones, and it has its own section. You can research that, because I've actually done it myself a couple of times.
I Google every fucking thing.
Yep.
I Google the price of a fucking roof. Can you imagine when we grew up? We had nothing.
Oh, yeah.
You had a fucking pager when I met you.
Yeah.
You used to have to, he had the old pager. He'd have to pull over while he's showing his
That's
properties
it. Yeah.
and go to the phone, call his office,
That's it.
and find out who called him.
That's it.
It's like he's in a mafia. He had to find a payphone to
Hey,
call.
some of us still do have pagers. Okay.
What do you got now? BlackBerry or
I
something?
miss my flip phone. I want my flip phone back.
Yeah. All right.
All
What
right.
else?
Shout out Dill. Thank you for the $4.99. Hey Ben, you're the best. What did you do in the past with how you managed the renters that did not pay the monthly rent or come up with excuses to not pay?
I mean, it's property management. Number one, I always try to rent to Section 8 if I had people that lived in, lower paying areas, with limited income. I tried to rent to Section 8. The money was guaranteed. But listen, you got to, my son was better than I was, because I was a sucker for a sob story. You're probably not.
No.
But, my son he ran it by the fucking book. And, listen, the agreement is by the third fucking day in the lease, if you didn't pay your rent, it's late. All right. Pay your fucking rent. And my son had a rule. I'm sorry. I can't. I'm running a business here. If you can't pay your rent and then the 3 days go by after the 3-day notice, you still ain't paid shit, then he's going to get rid of you. I mean, he ran a tight ship, and in the long run, it really paid. I mean, but you got to be careful. And then, what I do is during COVID, I went to every one of my apartment buildings and I told the manager, I sat there with them personally and I Googled all the agencies that help people
Right.
that have trouble with their rent, whether it's COVID or not. There are agencies out there. I told the manager, I don't care if you got to drive them over to this office or go online and help them, you get that money. All right. So I always tried to help the tenant if I could. If the tenant wanted help and I tried to help him, if I could, I would. But, you got to run it like a business. You can't get personal. And, because people they got problems. They can't pay. They can't pay you. You can't get blood from a turnip, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we did the exact same thing. We actually put everything together in a spreadsheet for them, emailed it to all our tenants and said, look, if you're having problems paying your rent, you can contact our Florida, you can contact Catholic Charities, blah, 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 phone numbers, emails, everything all in it. But Ben's right. You have to run it like a business. I mean, your family is one thing, but you can't have 27 tenants that are a family. So.
Never rent a family.
Yeah.
Luckily, my family, I didn't care. I didn't want their rent. Their rent was free because they all work for me.
Yeah.
What else, Aaron?
Shout out QM. Thank you for the $9.99. I'm 32 and own 100% equity of a $1 million home. Do you recommend I cash out refi to buy my first investment property? My cash flow is low, only 65 grand, and I'm not currently working, but looking for work. Thanks, Ben.
Where's your cash flow coming from if he ain't
Where's
working?
the 65 grand coming from?
Yeah, we don't want to know.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would just tell him to run and get a HELOC because this way, if you can, you're not working, that's going to be a problem qualifying for a loan.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. The banks are you're a risk factor. You're going to have to show them that you can afford. It doesn't matter you got equity in a home. If you can't show them that you can make the fucking payment, they're not going to fucking loan you any money. So you got to get a job, God damn it. And right now, there's plenty of people hiring. I don't know, your cash flow is 65K. I don't know where that's coming from. But that's something. They'll loan you something if you can show you got 65K a year coming in. But the odd thing is you got to go apply to the bank for a HELOC. Then the money's sitting there. You're not paying interest on it until you use it. Don't do a cash out refi because you're going to have that cash sitting in your hand. You might piss it away. Your wife might get her hands on it. You might make a bad investment. You're going to be too eager to spend it. Get a HELOC. You don't pay for the money until you use it. And you don't use it until you know it's going to be worth using it.
Yeah, you come home with a Ferrari one day. You never know.
He did. I mean, but get a fucking job. I mean, I'm sorry. Get a job, get work. Do something to show the bank that they can trust you to make that payment every month if they give you a nice handful of cash.
Well, yeah. First of all, you got to look at you've got $1 million home. You're 100% free.
You're a millionaire.
Right, you're a millionaire. I mean, right off the bat, though, I mean, your property taxes have got to be $10,000-$12,000. Your insurance has got to be $5,000 or $6,000. The upkeep in the house. So you're cutting back every time you say you got $65,000. We've already spent $4,000 a month on that just in upkeep and operation of the property. So you've got to have some
hopefully he
other
inherited the house
flow.
and it had a low value or something. It's probably worth that today. If he sold it, but hopefully he's not into it for that much as far as the tax basis.
Right.
But you're a millionaire. Now you got to show the bank that you're worthy of them loaning you money. All right. You're halfway there. You're more than halfway there. You got a bunch of fucking equity in a house. Now you got to show that you have the ability to pay if you borrow against it. You can't take the money and then pay with that money against it. The rest will rule that down to nothing and it'll be a fucking disaster.
Hell, I was a millionaire still living in my office.
There you go.
All right. Shout out Bobby Rejas. Thank you also for the $9.99. I own 4 small multifamily properties in an area where the city is building 350 new units in the next 2 years. Should I hold or sell and get single family?
Well, it's an upside and a downside. If the new 350 units coming online are going to be priced so far above where your units are at, you're going to get the overflow from those units coming into the market. So you may be in a market that the new rents in that area are $2,500 a month for a 1-bedroom, where you're able to rent your property for $2,000 a month. You're going to get the downflow of their advertising. So it could be a good thing for you.
I mean, listen, if you own 4 small multifamily properties, by them building, they wouldn't be building the 350 units unless they knew there was a demand for it. They don't go up and spend 350 units. You're talking about $100 million deal or more.
Easily.
Nobody's going to spend $100 million deals, even the city, Okay, if they're building it, they wouldn't even spend it unless they needed it. Okay, so and I'm surprised it's the city building it. That's very rare these days. Typically, they leave that to developers to do tax credit deals. But anyway, listen, that new property should, unless it's in some crazy rough place with building project,
Yeah.
I don't know. But the point is, new property should increase the value of the old property.
Right.
All right. So you might want to just see what's going to happen in that neighborhood because there must be something going on. And then you get into single family. I don't like single family because you only got one tenant and you never cash flow that much.
Yeah.
So you better stick with those units. Make sure you're charging the most rent you can, and if there's progress coming, you'll be part of it. Be happy and just raise your rents, and hopefully your property worth more money.
Yeah, that's growth. That's value add without you putting any money out
There
in
you
your
go.
area.
Area.
Yeah.
You can't, they're changing an area for you. And then, if you got any equity in it, go try to pull some money out of it and go find some more. Maybe you should be buying up the shit out of that neighborhood right now if there's new shit
Yeah.
coming.
I'll be
Because wherever
buying more.
350 units come, also comes the retail,
Right.
all comes all the services, all comes all the everything.
The banking.
Medical, the schools, all that shit has to grow.
Yeah.
You can't just throw up 350 units in the middle of fucking nowhere. They got to have all the support that goes with it.
It's an average of 1,200 new people moving into that area.
There you go. So, you could be on the ground floor if they're building that shit. I don't know. I don't know where.
All right. Shout out Inspiring Words. Shout out Jonathan Pity. Thank you again for the super chat, the $20. Thanks for the appraisal advice. Wish I could join you guys in Florida in October. Have some margaritas for me.
You can join us. Book a plane, book a room, get a ticket, and come on down. All right.
Yeah.
Well, zoom in then. Zoom in if you can't make it.
Shout out Direct Sales Advantage. Thank you for the $20. Aaron, get your dad to wear the Versace glasses, baby. You still can't have my diamond chain, Ben. Everybody should check out Ben's live event.
He's a Louis, baby. Louis. Screwy Louis. Oh, that was the guy with the big ass. He had a gold chain. I'm not kidding you.
Not
The
diamond
fucking-
chain.
That
It was
thing
all
weighed.
diamonds.
Was it the one that weighed? One
Yeah.
guy put his chain on me.
Yeah, that was him. With
That
the
fucking
diamonds.
thing weighed about 20 pounds. I thought I was working at the fucking gym or some shit. I couldn't wait to take that fucking thing off. Fucking thing crushed my fucking chest. I was almost want to have an x-ray after that. But thanks a lot. And come on down to the next show. You had fun at that show, didn't you? Come on down. We all know you ain't got no other friends. We're your only goddamn friends. So you better come down and hang out with us. And stay away from my wife. That was the big Mexican guy, right? I'm just kidding.
She's pleading the fifth on that
Yeah,
one.
right. All right. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Get those Versace's. I don't know what you have. Oh, the Versace's that you gave me, the fake ones. That's the guy that gave me. Everybody told me they're fake Versace's. I asked you, are they real? Because if they're not real, they're gonna fuck up my ears and fuck up my skin. You gave me fake ass Versace's.
I don't
Canal
know.
Street Versace's.
Huh?
Canal Street Versace's.
What?
Canal Street.
Canal Street is Canal Street. Yeah, they're called Versace.
Versace, yeah.
All right.
All right. Shout out Yes Man. Thank you for the $9.99. What's your opinion on raising money to buy apartment complexes, like in the form of syndication?
So we've actually started a small fund, and we've been through this once before. It's fairly easy to raise money. There's a lot of capital out there. It's finding the deal is the problem. If you said to me, John, we want to put together a fund tomorrow, you could easily raise $4, $5, $6, $7 million overnight. It's a matter of finding the deal in today's market. And Ben will tell you this, and he's in this situation right now. There's not enough deals for demand in the entire
I'm
market.
Skinny.
Yeah.
I'm not skinny. I'm fat.
Yep.
He used to be fat. Now he got skinny. But I met him. He wasn't just skinny. He
Yep.
was fat.
Yep.
Carla, can you empty my ashtray, please? Thank you. So anyway, I'm not a big fan. Syndications are great, but basically, you better be goddamn sure you know who the fuck you're giving your money to.
True.
All right, because there's a lot of guys out there that don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're taking money, they're buying bad deals, and you get stuck with nothing. You lose your fucking investment. You don't get no goddamn return. So you better know who the hell you're trusting your money with. Okay, because I don't take money from other people. I'm more of a giver than a taker.
And most of those guys are all fee driven. You got a fee for looking at the deal and a fee for reviewing the contract and a fee for me walking the
It's called
property.
development fees.
Yeah, it's just
They
it's
make their money
crazy.
off the
Some of
top.
the fees that
I don't
they
want to
charge
mention
are
somebody's
ridiculous.
big shot name out there that does it a lot, but they make their money off the fucking fees
Yeah.
and the fucking development fees, and then they don't give a fuck. Oh, you should get a 5% return. Blah 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 blah. Adios amigos. Their name's not on the fucking hook.
Right.
It's not their fucking money, you know.
It's OPM.
And you got to be really really careful to do your fucking homework. You're probably better off going with somebody that's a traded REIT or somebody that has like a reputation like Starwood Capital.
Yeah.
If you want to invest, because you're gonna end up getting a better return. I think Starwood Capital's paying like an 8% return or some shit or more.
Oh, they're really?
And he just
Wow.
gave me $90 million bucks. So I love the guy.
Hey, Ben. We got a caller.
We have a caller.
Hey Ben, how you doing?
Fine. How are you? No picture, just voice.
Good,
okay.
good. I enjoyed the show last time. I was there on the 10th.
Oh man, thanks very much for coming down. How are you today?
You're welcome.
Where are you
Good,
from?
good.
Where you from?
Miami. I live in Miami.
Miami.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So what's up?
We've spoken before. Well, I got a situation that I'm trying to figure out what the best possible route is. My father, he only owes $77,000 on his mortgage, and he's already going to give me the property. He's still going to live in it. So my house, I've probably got like a little over $400,000 in equity. I'm trying to figure out, should I just get line of credits on both of the properties, or should I get, a cash out refinance on one of them so I can put, maybe $200,000 in the bank and just have it sitting there so I can start a new bank relationship, show them that I have $200,000 to put in their bank account, and, keep the other property with just a line of credit of, who knows, a few $100,000.
How much your father's house worth?
Probably 750,000 around there.
Holy shit. So, and you only owe 77 on it?
77, and I have the cash to just pay off that 77 now if I wanted to.
Then what's he going to do? Just quit claim deed it to you somehow, and
You
you
can
say you're going
gift
to
it
leave
to
it?
him.
Gift it to him?
Well,
Not up to $11 million.
I was
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I was curious about something that
No,
one
I
of the
haven't
other
had
callers
two
was
people
talking
here.
about.
11.
One of the other callers had mentioned, the reverse mortgage, and I thought about that with my father, because that way he'd be able to give me the money, because he wants me to invest the money anyway. He just wants to, help me out and be involved, because he did flip houses before, so we do have some experience with flipping houses. But he wants to, basically do a reverse mortgage if I can convince him to do it, give me the money, and
Reverse mortgage
that
is
way I
a
avoid
monthly
paying.
payout, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Reverse mortgage ain't going to give you no big lump sum of cash.
Yeah. They don't give you a lump sum.
But reverse mortgage,
Oh, it's
basically,
not
the
a
bank's
lump sum?
paying.
No.
No, the bank's paying you a mortgage. That's why they call it reverse mortgage. So the bank's going to make you a payment. It's for people that have a house with a bunch of equity but need the money every month to live. So basically, they go reverse mortgages. They tell your father, okay, we'll tie up your house and we'll give you $2,000 a month on
Right.
whatever, $500,000 or 400,000, whatever. So forget about a reverse mortgage. That's
20
only going to
years.
give you a monthly income. Okay, basically, if he's going to let you have the house or pledge it or whatever, and you got $400K house, you don't own nothing on your house.
Well, on my house, I owe 220 something, and it's worth about 800.
Oh, I thought you said. Oh, okay, I thought it was 400
That's
somewhere.
on mine, yeah. His is worth about 750. Only 77 owed on it. Mine is about 800, a little bit more before the prices started going down, but 800, and I only owe 220 something on it.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
a
but you
lot of
have an
equity.
income, don't you? You have an income, right?
I own a business, yes, and I pay myself 100K a year. I don't want to pay too much income tax.
If I was you, I mean, do you know what you want to buy? Do you know what you want to reinvest in yet?
That's a good question, because I'm stuck between multi-families and single-family houses, because down here in Miami, single-family homes are really popular because not a lot of people want to live in an apartment.
Yeah, but
There's
they're
a lot,
very
you have to
expensive.
deal with all these rules
But they're very
and all these
expensive.
approvals. Yeah,
They're very
and they're really
expensive to
expensive
buy,
right now. Exactly.
And you can't cash flow that much. I already looked at it.
Tough
I'm
to
sorry.
operate.
I mean, houses
Tough
are
to
okay, but you
manage.
can't make no money. That's the problem. So if I was you, just to begin with, how much cash you sitting on?
Well, I mean, sadly, the last time you and I spoke, I lost all the cash that I had. I had it invested in Bitcoin, and I over leveraged, and Celsius crashed, and I lost like 300 grand.
So you ain't got no cash right now?
Well, I mean, I'm starting to recover again, but it's not a lot.
All right.
I've got
So,
like maybe 50 grand.
basically, if you want to just secure yourself, let me tell you something. Right now, is not a good time to buy. It's a time to look.
No, I want to prepare. Yeah, I want to have the
prepare
I want to
yourself.
have the availability. of the
Line
cash.
yourself up. So what you need to do is line yourself up. I would just go to a local bank, all right, and lay your cards on the goddamn table. You could try Valley Bank. They're a good bank. You know, sit down with a bank and lay your cards on the table and say, this is what I got. This is what my dad has. He's giving me the house. I got $1.3 million here in equity. I got a business. I make $100,000 a year. How much of a line of credit will you give me against those? And you can cross collateralize
both
the two
of them.
properties.
Right.
You know, put the two properties together. You might. What's the interest rate on the $220,000 you owe?
4.625.
All right. Well, you're not going to get no better rate than that. So, you know, you might want to leave it there. You might want to pay it off. I don't know. You need to go sit down with a bank. And who do you bank with now? Anybody?
Chase.
Yeah, they're kind of big, but you could try them and see if they'll give you. You know, I mean, does your father have an income?
No, he's retired.
So what's he live off of?
retirement income.
What's he has like an IRA or whatever, or retirement income?
No, my dad's an old guy, old Cuban guy. He didn't learn how to do any of that.
So how does he pay his bills? How does he live?
It's under the mattress.
No, I don't. I
roll
don't
of cigars in my hand.
he makes about $1,000, and he lives very minimum.
All right. Well, you know, it's probably better.
His mortgage is only $500 a month.
All right. Well, it's definitely better if you're the one that has the equity then in that house that he owns. So if he gives you the house, all right, gifts it to you, and you can take over and keep the mortgage for now until you cut a deal with the bank. You know, let him gift you the house, because once he gives you that house, you're now worth almost $700,000 more.
Right.
Plus the $6 that you got tied up in your own house, you're worth $1.3 million. You got a business that's probably worth X amount of dollars. You're paying yourself $100,000 a year. Lay your cards on the table, sit down, and go to a bank and say, hey, what can you give me? Maybe it'll be a HELOC. Maybe it'll be a line of credit. I mean, you know, that's what I would do. That's the only thing you can do. You know, sit down with a bank and lay everything on the table. But it's probably in your best interest if your father doesn't have an income to qualify. It's in your best interest for him to gift you that house.
Yeah, you're just like one of the previous callers. You got a tremendous amount of equity. You're real estate rich and cash poor. And the way to unlock that equity is a HELOC or some sort of a credit line on everything across the board.
Borrow the
That's
money.
what I'm looking
for.
I don't want to sell it.
You know who I work with in Miami area? National City was good to me too. They're pretty reasonable to deal with. Go to shop around. You know, you could shop around and you know, you can even do this shit online these days. Everything is so sophisticated.
Yeah.
You know, you enter in the information. Good.
Do you think it would be a bad idea to pay off his loan so that his properties
don't do anything
nothing owed on it?
That don't do.
Talk
how
to
much
the bank
the payment
first.
ain't shit, right? How much is the payment on the $77,000?
Yeah, it's $500.
All right, don't worry about it right now. It's worth paying the $500 and keeping the $77 in your pocket. All right, go to a bank and try to put a whole plan together with maybe they'll pay it off, maybe they'll pay your loan off, maybe they won't. Maybe they'll just take second position because they're small firsts. You need to get a plan, and the only person that can help you make a plan and tell you what they can do is a bank. So you need to go online, shop around, but I would definitely get title to your father's house because it's a much better asset under your control than his control. It makes you a lot stronger, all right, having that asset under your name, worth that kind of money, all right?
Right. And how can I avoid the property taxes going up once he deeds it to me?
I mean, Miami property taxes are going up by the homesteaded properties, right?
Yep.
He's homestead. I already have my homestead on mine.
So if the homestead, they can only go up so much every year, right?
Right,
That's
there's
all
a
you
cap.
can do.
Yep.
There's nothing you can do about property taxes. I mean, you're homesteading them. That's all you can do. Hopefully they don't go up that much. You know, that's the thing. There's nothing you can do, especially in Miami. Shit, I hate to see the millage rate there.
It's expensive as hell, man.
I
It's
know.
crazy expensive.
Well, good luck to you, but I would definitely get that asset under your name, put it in your portfolio or your wealth, and then, you know, take everything and lay your cards on the table, put together a one-page financial statement showing what you think your business is worth, if you have any equipment or inventory, whatever the business is worth, show them the money you still got in the bank that you didn't fuck up in Bitcoin, and show them the value of those houses, show them the value, show them the debt, show them the equity. You're only a fucking number. That's what I keep trying to tell people. You're only a number in the bank's eyes. What are you worth? Okay. So far, it sounds like, you know, I know you're worth $1.3 million in real estate assets. I know you got a business that's worth something. You're making $100,000 a year. You must be doing well. Show them who you are and what you got,
right,
and say, how do you want to borrow me some money? And what are the terms going to be? All right.
All right. Sounds good.
Good
Sounds
luck.
Good. And I'll
Take
see
care.
you I'll see you up there in Tampa.
All right, man. You coming to Tampa?
Yeah, why not?
All
man?
right.
You're the most entertaining
Book
person.
the
on the-
room.
I don't even
Listen,
watch TV.
how you
man.
gonna
I
get
just
down
watch
here?
you.
Are you driving? You flying? What are you gonna get? A cheap flight for like $100 on different airlines,
probably
Silver or
Yeah,
whatever.
I'll probably get fancy. Maybe I'll parachute in.
Parachute in. You can parachute on the roof, but if you're gonna fly down, no, seriously, if you're gonna fly down, just call the hotel from the airport. We got a shuttle bus that'll pick you up, brand new shuttle bus. I traded my wife's
yeah?
Bentley for it. But come in the shuttle bus. We'll take you to a hotel. We'll get you a 2-room suite, and we'll have a great time together. So come on down.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I think I'll do that. Do you have a helipad on the building?
No, just land wherever there's no AC in your way. Okay,
Can I land
don't
on the
land on the
rolls?
AC. I'll bring the rolls. We'll take some pictures. We'll hang out. We'll have a great time. Let me tell you, it's a great event. And there's a couple of
The
strip
last one
joints
was
around,
good.
and there's a couple of strip joints around the corner. I know you're Miami
Oh,
guys.
yeah, perfect.
Bring a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
bring a lot. Hey, it's
Yeah,
no
we
more
can.
$1. I think you need $5 bills now.
That's right.
No more
$5.
$1.
No, I'll just take my $2 bills.
I
I'll
heard
take
if
my
you give a
$2.
girl $1, she throws it back at you. So
That's
all
why
right.
you got to take the $2 bills.
book your
They're
ticket
worth more
and
than
bring
face value.
book your ticket and bring some friends if you have any. Bring your father.
No, I don't have friends, but maybe I'll bring my dad.
Bring your dad. It'll be great. We'll have a good time. Habla
Sounds
español?
good. Of course, man.
All
I'm
right.
Cuban.
Well, my wife's Mexican. You can kind of understand her. Your father can talk to my wife. All right. And
All right,
Tampa,
Ben.
let me
Thanks
tell
a
you
lot,
something.
guys.
Let me tell you something. You guys are in Miami, but Tampa, he's gone. Tampa's where the real Cubans are at. Let me tell you.
That's right. Best
Yeah.
cigars in the
Miami's
world.
full of real Cubans, but Tampa's got a certain type of Cuban, that every Cuban would like to hang
The
out
cigar
with.
rollers.
I was watching the thing on Traficante the other night on TV.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Tampa was a quiet place with a lot of shit going on.
Well, a lot of cash.
I love the part where they come to fucking Newport Richie. The guys from New York come to Newport Richie, and they open up a fucking
A tennis club.
a casino in the bar, King Courtyard or
Well,
something.
they had the tennis club
King's
there,
Court.
too.
You
Yeah,
sold me
I
a
did
building
say-
called King's Court.
King's Court.
Just like the casino the Mafia opened up
Yeah.
over here in Newport
49th
Richie.
Street. That's right.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right. What do you got, Aaron?
Let's see. Shout out Roland McLean. Thank you for the $10. Ben, I'm syndicating a property in St. Pete, Florida. 285 units, 26 floors from the ground up, mixed retail and residential, 6.5% perf, roughly 17% IRR.
Individual return on investment or something.
What is
Rate
the
of return.
best way to raise $40 million in
That's some-
equity?
$40 million ain't going to do it to build 285 units these days. Is it? It's about 200 a door. It's
That's
about,
probably equity.
and then retail.
and then-
That's some grand card. Don't shit
Yeah.
there, baby.
That's big numbers there.
That's
Yeah.
big time shit. Building it from the ground up. You better know what the hell you're doing, I hope. But listen, you want to put that, there's money out there to make, invest. I
Yeah.
mean, the investors looking for that, right?
Yeah, that's institutional grade quality. I mean, you're probably not going to be, the local mom and pop guy with $1 million. You're going to have to go talk to the institutions, the REITs of the world. A lot of the REITs right now, because the market is so tight, they're starting to put equity into these deals. I would start with a lot of the REITs first and start making
Find out
calls.
Who has
So,
done it?
right.
Who are the guys that have been backing all the new buildings going up in that area, and contact them? You're going to have to do your homework, and they're probably all out of New York, but you can find these things out.
Yep.
You
Yep.
got to find out. Look up who did the last deals. Do your digging, hire, whatever you got to do, because you're not going to get that money, like you said, from regular
No.
people. I mean, it's bits and pieces for condos. Yeah, the people buy condos
Right,
and all
right.
that, but you want to build a $40 million deal, which I don't know. The land alone is going to be a fortune in St.
Yeah,
Pete.
yeah.
And 285 units brand new these days, 26 fucking floors. Oh, shit, that's a major
Yeah.
project.
Yeah, that's-
But you got to find out. You got to go with the people that are looking for that type. You got to find who has the appetite. You got the food. Now find the people who are hungry for what you got to eat, or for them to eat. That's what you got to do. All right. You got to match. You got to be a matchmaker. Find the guys looking for those type of deals. The big developers, they'll steal it from you.
Yeah.
But you got to find the investors. Who's investing in the big developers?
Another thing you might want to think about is just spinning that deal out. I mean, there's a lot of developers out there that have the ability to do it, that don't need you as a partner,
Or
unfortunately.
give you a piece of it.
And they'll give you an equity piece. That's true. And there's a couple of builders in this area who we've actually done deals like that with, and stayed in deals and left our commission in deals and become partners with them over the years. Feel free to call me tomorrow. I've got somebody in mind that would, might even be looking at taking that deal off your hands.
We got his number for John.
So, real simple.
You got a way to contact him?
Yeah.
Huh?
That's a super chat.
All right. Well, go to benmello.com. What do they send in? Ask Ben and Ben Maller or something?
Yep.
All right. Go
That's
ahead
the
and
email,
send
right?
your information in, and I'll give it
Yeah,
to
just-
John.
just
He'll
email.
talk to you and find out, if he can help you make a match. Matchmaker, make a match.
Let me say ask Ben at benmala.com. That's the email. So just email that
There you go. Ask Ben at what?
at benmala.com.
Ask Ben at benmello.com. And John will respond.
We had a pretty nice property in St. Pete.
We did. It was a tax credit. It was like a newer one.
Wasn't it like how many floors?
Wasn't that many floors. There were like 10 floors, I think. But it was nice. It was called something.
The Portland.
Portland Apartments.
Yeah, yeah.
Beautiful building. Oh, my God.
Then you had the one over in Clearwater.
But
too,
that was
the
a weird
senior one.
situation.
Yep.
That was an old
Yeah,
building.
that
That was about
was-
20 stories.
Yeah, that was a nice building.
Yeah, I lost. Everybody that bought those properties to me made money.
Yeah.
Which is fine. That's the way it works.
Yep.
Got to leave a little meat on the bone.
Hey, well, you can't control the market. I didn't see the market going through the roof.
Nobody did.
So what are you going to do? I take some profit and move on to the next fucking deal. What are you going to do? What do you got,
All right,
Aaron?
shout out Casey. Thank you for the $20. Ben, I just bought 1.6 acres commercial for to build a shopping center. I want to buy the surrounding 31 acres to build a mixed use property. What's the strategy to achieve that?
Is it for sale first? That's the big thing. If it's not for sale, then you got to track down the owner. You got to do your public record search, find out who owns it. If it's multiple parcels, then you've got a real job on your hand. If it's 131 acre parcel, it's pretty easy. You call the guy up, say, hey, you want to sell it or you don't want to sell it?
Do you have a plan to build the 1.6 acres? You do it now. That's the thing. Listen, I see a lot of people, they try to go too far and bite off more than they can chew
That's
too
true.
fast. You got 1.6 acres. It's fucking dirt, pardon my language. Build a shopping center, get it rented out, make a bunch of money, and then take that money and try to get the 31 acres. And while you're building it, try to find out if it's for sale. Try to get to the owner. Try to beat him down in price. But first, accomplish what you're setting out to accomplish. Get that. If you already bought the 1.6 acres, you got a building to build. And then you got to find tenants to fill it. So you got your work cut out for you. So get that done. And while you're doing it, try to look for a future opportunity. But get that done first. I mean, that's where your money's sitting at.
You got the equity in that already. You already have a plan in place.
1.6 acres, whatever you paid, you got the money tied up, you got to have construction costs, all that shit.
All right, Samuel Sanchez, thank you again for the super chat. He said, thank you for the realtor advice. Hypothetically, where can I find your old partner's information on Sausalito Place?
Look them up. What the hell's the address? I forgot.
I wasn't alive.
All right. I don't know if his address will come up on his name. I don't think so. Go to Ben Mala. Go also send us a freaking
Send an email
Ask Ben.
at benmala.com.
and then I'll get you some sort of contact for him. Okay. If you're really in San Francisco and you're an agent, and I want to know who you're working for first, send me who you're working for, who's holding your license, because he ain't gonna give it to nobody that he ain't giving it to no Century 21. He's gonna give it to somebody that can move that damn house. And I think he's looking for like $5+ million. I don't know, maybe it's worth more. All right. So
and he's harder to deal with than Ben. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
he met us both at the same time. And I think he was happy that I got rid of him.
Nah, I like Mark.
Mark's a great guy.
Mark's
He's a
great
pain in the
guy.
ass.
He's a lot of
You
fun
know?
to be around.
Not no more. He's 20.
Especially after a couple of tequilas. He's a really, really good to be
He
around.
liked to drink, boy. He liked to drink. All right, well, get a hold of us, but you better show me who you are before I try. I can't just throw you. I can't throw you gold unless I know you got a gold cup to catch it.
Oh, sorry, can't believe I missed this. IGH Properties, thank you for the $300.
IGH, man,
Thank you.
IGH is a great guy, and I hope he comes down to the show in Tampa. He's got time, but he may be too busy because he got the new girlfriend, and I don't know if he's got time for me anymore.
He's coming
But he
to Tampa.
brought her, and it was great meeting them both. But he's a great guy. He's heavy into real estate, and he's our number one viewer.
Yep.
And he's always giving us support.
Loyal.
He's helping you buy your goddamn house, Polak.
He sure is.
He's the reason why you'll be able to save a down payment.
That's right.
So thanks a lot. And this time we're going to spend more time together because I'm only going to do one show. We're going to be in my own neighborhood, and we'll be able to hang out. And this time, the Polak will buy you dinner instead of you buying him dinner, you cheapskate.
I'll buy a lunch.
He'll probably buy. You know what he'll do? He'll buy you dinner at the hotel where it's free and charge it to me. I know how you work, Polak.
Charge to a room.
All right. Well, IGH, thanks a lot. You're
Thanks,
the best,
man.
and I hope you
See you
come
soon.
down on October 15th to hang out with us.
All right. shout out, hello, thank you for the $10. Ben, I'm buying a 15 unit for $850,000.
Good price.
The
That's a
mortgage is $6,500 a month, and rent is $8,500 a month. How much money do I need for the upkeep of the property? Is it a good deal? Built in 1930s in
Okay.
in okay shape. I was thinking of Oklahoma.
Yeah.
for
In
some
okay
reason.
shape
I don't
needs
know
work.
why I was thinking, but yeah, in okay shape.
Needs work.
I mean, upkeep, John. I mean, he's getting $8,500 a month. He's giving up 65 to the mortgage. You only have for $2,000.
Yeah, that's
Why
a
is your
little
mortgage
steep.
so high?
6% interest rates.
Look. I mean,
Uh-huh.
you only got a couple of grand to work with. I hope your taxes and insurance are included in that fucking mortgage.
Probably.
And why
Yeah.
8,500? You should be getting. Where the hell is it? That's only $500 a month, right?
Yeah.
That's only like $600 a month.
Yeah, first thing I do is start raising rents.
I mean, if you can raise
Uh-huh.
rents, you really need to raise rents.
Yeah.
I hope you're in a place where you can raise the damn rents, because those rents today's day the building's 1930s. It sounds like the fucking rents of 1930 almost. You need to get up to the see if you can raise the rents, fix the place up a little, get some more money out of it. Because if your mortgage, I hope it includes taxes and insurance. If it's $6,500 a month, you only got a couple of grand coming in. You got to have other expenses. You got to have I hope you're not paying the fucking water and the sewer and the garbage and the landscape and 15 units isn't a lot of money to expense, but
Yeah.
you ain't got a lot of cash flow in that fucking thing.
You get 4 units that go vacant and you're negative.
Oh yeah, fucked.
Yeah.
You got to raise those rents somehow. Otherwise, you better dump it and sell. Let the next guy buy it and maybe get your money back. I don't understand. It must be in a depressed area or you're not raising rents. It's got to be one of those two things.
Yeah.
So get busy and find out, or get rid of it if it ain't cash
Yep.
flow. I hate owning real estate. Doesn't cash flow. It makes no sense. Like you're working for fucking free.
It's like buying land. What's land do for you?
I know it's crazy.
Unless you're going to develop it, there's nothing to it.
I like buying properties that come with land, and I cut off the land and sell it.
As a
I
bonus.
did that at Hacienda de Ybor.
As a bonus.
All right, I
Yeah.
sold the land for $1 million. It was just dirt sitting there next to a building we didn't need.
Yeah.
You know who I sold it to? The relatives of the Traficante.
Oh.
They
All
like
right.
parking. They're in the parking business.
They had to protect that
They're
parking
legitimate
lot.
now. They're in the parking business.
Maybe there was a reason they paid you $1 million. They had to protect that area from
Yeah,
being
maybe,
developed.
Yeah, maybe there's something under the ground I didn't know about.
That's right.
All right, we don't want to
All
talk
right.
too much about them. They'll come after me.
Yep. All right. Shout out Miss Pingo. Thank you for the $4.99.
Mas bingo.
I didn't hang up. Rafal hung up on me.
Rafal, you hung up on the Cuban.
I stay away from those Cubans.
Come
LOL.
on down to Tampa, man. You make a nice cigar for you. You can roll a cigar. You can have a good beer down here, Cigar City beer and all that shit.
Yeah.
You hit the strip clubs. It's Tampa. It's like Cuba used to be before Castro came.
Before
Is my-
Castro.
that thing's working, right? Okay.
Uh,
What do you have? Another caller?
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
I
trying
ain't
to
gonna
put one
sit
more
here all
call.
night. Get the callers going. He ain't gonna sit here all
Hello.
night. He's got to get to his club.
Yeah, that's the last
Oh,
caller.
yeah, I need to the club. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear
Can
you
you
now.
hear me, Ben?
I can hear you. Who is this? Sound familiar?
This is Anthony, Ben. Nice to speak with you. I'm a big fan.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thanks. What's going on?
Okay, I want to ask you how I should move forward. I'm going to explain to you the scenario real quick. I have 2 properties. One, I live in Los Angeles, California.
Oh God.
I know exactly. So that'll be at the end of the
You
question.
just ruined the whole fucking podcast question. Go ahead.
Okay, one property. It's a rental. I've rented it for 12 years. It's estimated $900,000. The debt is about $300,000. I have a second property that my wife and child live in. That's estimated at $1.5 million. I owe $500,000 on that. In 3 years, we'll finalize the divorce, sell that property, the 1.5 property. I'll walk away with $400,000.
Wait a minute. Back up a second. All right. So they kicked you out of the house, right?
Yeah.
All right. They kicked you out of the house. They're living there for 1.5. When do you plan on getting divorced?
The divorce will be finalized by the end of the year, but I'm going to let them stay on the property until my daughter graduates high school.
Listen, I'm
for 3
telling you.
years.
Well, the problem is this: you're going to let them stay there 3 more years.
Mm-hmm.
God damn it! Because if you had sold, how long have you had the house?
8 years.
Because before you got divorced, if you sold the house, you'd saved a $500,000. She's worth $250,000 in tax savings to you. Otherwise, you don't. Well, I mean, wait, when you sell a house, you selling it together, or you selling it? You're going to sell it to yourself.
Is she going to buy her?
Is she
buy
get
you
half
out?
of the house when you sell it?
I think we'll put it on the market and then we'll just split the proceeds.
Oh, okay, so she'll have her tax benefit. Oh, but wait a second. She qualifies for the owner being her residence.
One time.
I don't know if he does or not. You better talk to your accountant. I hate to see you lose the damn residence. You get the first $250,000 per person of gain
tax free.
And if it's $500,000 if you're married.
Right.
But if you're going to be divorced and you're not going to be living there, it might screw you over. I don't know.
Okay.
But she'll
So
she'll
what do I
still
need
get
to
her
check for?
$250 because she's living. Well, the thing is this: if this scenario goes through, in 3 years, I don't think you're going to be. It's not going to be your principal residence unless you still claim it as your residence and just stay somewhere else because your kids
Which is
live in
what I
there.
do.
You might want to. Because the point is this: if you sell that house tomorrow and you got $1 million gain, you only got to worry. How much did you pay for the house?
$750.
All right, so $750, and you're going to sell it. You're going to make $750. The thing is, if you sold it tomorrow, you'd both be entitled to $500,000 worth of hiding of gain that you would have to pay tax on. You'd only have to pay tax on $250,000. But if she stays living there and they don't mess around with that tax, which they won't, I don't know if you're going to be able to qualify unless you keep it as your personal residence. So that's the problem. You might want to make a deal with her and say, hey, I'm not going to live here, but I'm going to live here. You know what I mean?
I like that. I like that idea.
Because if it's still your personal residence, then you get qualified for your personal residence sale in 3 years, and you'll save the tax. But you may not be able to save it if you don't have it as your personal residence. So anyway, fine. 3 years, you're gonna let them live there, and you got $1 million of equity tied up in the house between the both of you. What else you want to do? What else is the story?
Okay, so in 3 years, I'm gonna sell that house and get the about 400,000, 500,000 out of that, and then I have in the rental property. I live in an apartment in the third place, so in the rental property I have about 600,000 in equity. Now, to make the big real estate move, which would either be potentially buying a larger apartment building or that's my question for you. How much would I qualify for a loan? When I do make this move with these two, should I refinance the rental property or should I sell the rental property and then have both cash?
Let me ask you a question. You're talking about a house that you're renting out, right?
Yes.
It's only one single house, right?
One single house.
How much are you cash flowing right now?
$400 a month.
So, and does anybody else own that house with that rental house with you? Is it yours?
It's premarital asset.
All right, I dump it. What the hell you want to for $400 a month? You get your hands on $600,000 right now?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Okay.
Well, not only that, but think back also that if you and your wife were to sell the house that you have together now, you would get the tax break on it as well, and then pull that cash out at the same time. You'd be further ahead.
His wife wants to stay there until the kid graduates high school, right?
That's what I'm thinking.
Your wife wants to stay there until the kid graduates high school, right?
Yes.
I'm in the same boat. I'm in the same boat. I got 3 years. I'm waiting for the kid to graduate high school, except my wife won't let me. She won't leave me. We're going to get on a boat and sail away.
You didn't know that. You didn't know that, Aaron, did you?
All right.
You're just learning that right now?
Yeah. Keep it nice.
Hey, but listen, seriously. I don't understand why you're sitting on a house that's making you, if you're lucky, $5,000 a year on $600,000. All right, the $600,000. If you stuck in a tax-free muni bonds, you could get $30,000 a year right now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy to hold a house for $6,000 a year when you get because you know what's going to happen. You better hurry up. Even in California, interest rates are up. Mortgages are all year low for applications. People aren't borrowing money. They don't qualify as much because interest rates went up, and that value might come down from that 900 even in California. But the point is, it makes no sense why you're sitting on a house that makes you $500 a month when you can have how much money you got in the bank right now. And I won't tell your wife.
Only about 100K.
Holy shit! You could have 700K. That's crazy. Now you're
I know,
700K. You can go out and buy some
multifamily.
married.
I couldn't sell it while I was married.
Oh yeah,
That's
when you
why
get
I'm trying
divorced. Well, I thought it was
to-
outside.
hopefully
I
it'll be
thought
finalized.
it wasn't part of your divorce. It was before you got married. That house.
Yes, the house is a premarital asset. Yes.
All right, so why can't you sell it now? Is she going to get pissed, or what's the problem?
I mean, I don't want to do this.
Oh, you don't want to have
divorce
the
getting finalized.
all right, so when did you get divorce finalized?
It's supposed to be December 20th.
All right. Well, wait a couple of months. Big deal. Wait a couple of months,
Yeah.
dump the house, and then have a party. All right. You got
Exactly.
divorce. You got
Yeah,
700 grand in the
exactly.
bank, and you're ready to rock and roll, baby. So
Okay,
that's,
so I,
I
sell
mean,
that
you know,
property. I got 600. I have 400 from the one when they sell.
well,
it.
that's 3 years
3
from
years.
now. Who's got time to worry about 3 years from now? You're stuck.
Well,
Your
I
kid's
wanna-
got to stay there. Leave it alone.
I want to have more money to buy a $1 million unit, or like how much could I qualify if I
Listen,
sell that? Do you think? And
I mean, the
have
point is,
600,000
if you got 600, you say you got 100 grand in the bank is 7, right? Well, let's just say you take the 6. Let's say you 1031 that sucker. You could 1031 that sucker into about a $3 million deal.
Right.
All right. You could buy up to $3 million with 600 grand down. All right. And still
Okay,
keep
great.
the
Thank
equity
you.
in your house, keep your 100 grand in the bank. And there you go. You're sitting like a fat rat.
Okay. So you think that's the move? Sell the other property, and then should I combine? Do you think the two properties in one larger property, or if I can get 3
Listen,
million? that's
in
enough for an
California,
apartment?
you're going to be happy to find any fucking deal you can. I mean, you know, you're in Los Angeles. I don't know where the hell you're going to find a deal at. You may have to go all the way between Los Angeles and go far out. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
You
probably
know?
Yeah.
that's probably a duplex in Los Angeles.
I mean,
isn't it?
I don't know what you're going to do in
you know,
California. I mean, I can't help you there, but at least get your hands on 600 grand. Put it in some tax-free municipal bonds. Let it sit there at no risk at 30,000 a year tax-free, and then keep looking for the right deal. And then in 3 years, you worry about the house and the ex-wife. All right.
I appreciate it, Ben.
All right,
Stay
man.
well.
Thanks for the call. I appreciate it. Thanks. Good luck.
All right.
Are we done?
We have 7 more super chats
Go
right
ahead.
now, so let's
Woo-hoo.
bang through these. Shout out Carlos Caesar. Thank you for the $10. Shout out Rich. Thank you for the $5. Hey, Ben, I'm trying to build a horse ranch with a solar farm from the ground up. Any help funding?
Any help funding? I don't loan money. I only borrow it. I'm sorry. And a horse ranch with solar farm. A solar farm. What are you going to do? You going to raise electricity there? Is that what you're going to farm? Have a bunch of panels? I mean, listen, that's way out of my league. But, you know, the best way to find people that want to fund you in deals like that, he lives next to a horse farm.
I do.
Where does he go to get money for a horse guy? I don't know. You got to find people that want to invest in that type of product
Yeah.
and business.
All right. You know, call Joe Biden. They're loaning on the green stuff right now. Anything
Get a
green.
business plan and put it in front of other people that are doing the same thing that you want to do. Go to other horse farm ranch guys and other people that are doing what you want to do. Hopefully you're copying somebody else, and put a plan together showing how the numbers work, and you identify the location. This is how much you need to put it together. This is how much you think it's going to make. Put a business plan together and then present it. Honestly, you could go to SBA if you really, it's not crazy to say, it doesn't hurt to try. They'll show you how to put a business plan together. They'll tell you why they can't loan you the money and what you got to do to get the money.
Yeah.
Go to SBA. Look them up. Go on the line to the government. The government's got money
What's
for that
the-
stuff.
what's-
He's right, but he said Biden.
What's the farm bank? There's a bank out there that just
I
nothing,
don't
nothing
know.
but
They loan
farms.
FDA. They got everything.
Yeah.
But go to SBA because you want to develop a business. Okay, so put the plan together and see what SBA says. They might want to loan you the money. They may have money to a loan on that.
All right, shout out Michael. Thank you for the $4.99. What are your thoughts on bridge loans? I am a broker and I'm now offering them. #hungry.
He's hungry.
I think.
I mean, bridge loans are bridge loans. I mean, you know, if you want a loan, you want to broker out bridge loans to people. I mean, you got to find the people who need the bridge loans. You know, I bridge myself. But it's right now. It's a very, very good time to offer bridge loans,
Yeah.
short-term financing,
Yep.
because people need the money quick.
Yep.
And if you can prove to people you need the money quick, you get them the money quicker than a fucking bank takes. Then you know it's positive for everybody.
Yeah, I probably get 10 emails a day from brokers saying, "Hey, we can bridge money all
You got
over
to
the place."
find the market
Yeah.
that has an appetite for what you got. You got to get with brokers like John Burpee, who know guys that want to buy shit that need a little help to close the deal quicker or need a little money or something, you know. You got to get the broker. Let me tell you something. The brokers know everything. They know the people who are buying. They know the people who are selling. They know, where they can put two people together. His job is to take two people, put them together, and make a marriage. He's a matchmaker.
Match.com.
There you go.
All right.
Is that how you found your wife?
Let's see.
I did find her.
I was surprised when I met your wife.
We did meet on the
how did
internet.
you score that? I mean,
I married way out of my league. I know that.
yeah, we both did. And, but I went for the young. She didn't know that much, so I got lucky. I went after the innocent. All right. What does it say, Aaron?
Let's see. Shout out Jesus. Thank you for the $4.99. Ben, will you only do interest only loans still, even with rising rates? I had a great time in Fort Lauderdale. Thank you for all the information shared.
Well, thanks for coming to Fort Lauderdale. I really appreciate it. Listen, I'm doing interest only. Even more, I need them now because I can't afford to pay principal. The goddamn interest rate went up.
Yep.
So now I got even less money to play with. So I need to really do interest only because I need the cash flow to pay the extra money I'm paying the bank for interest. It's crazy. So I hope everybody comes down and feels sorry for me and come to our show on the 15th and book a room. We need the revenue. Help pay Ben's mortgage. I ain't no shame in my game.
There you go. Let's see. Shout out Andrew. Thank you for the $2. Do you recommend borrowing against your home?
Sure. As long as you got enough equity and you've got enough ability to pay it back, just don't invest that money in something speculative that doesn't have any cash flow, or, don't put it in Bitcoin,
Unless Bitcoin was $1.
Yeah.
Remember that? Remember when Bitcoin, little Ben told me, it's $1 now, Dad, you better buy it. And I didn't fucking buy it. I said, I'm not buying that shit.
My broker called me and says, put $10,000 into this 20 years ago, or when it first came out.
Who knows? The problem is we've seen so much bullshit come and go. It's hard to know when something's fucking going to really make it.
When it's real.
Because we're not gambling guys. We're fucking guys that get out there and make our money. Yep. We're not looking for no fucking a lottery ticket. We're out there getting our hands dirty, and he manages other people's property, which I would never fucking do. All right. So we missed that boat. What are you going to do? But we had our own boats to sail.
Yep. All right. Shout out. Hello. Thank you again for the $10. What is the
I made it.
What is the expense ratio generally in multifamily after paying mortgage from the rent? The tenants already have leases with the current owner. When I buy the deal, can I change the lease to raise rent?
The hell's he talking about? What is the expense
Well,
ratio?
it's kind of an open-ended question because I don't know how much.
About that.
I don't know how much you're putting down as a down payment. So everybody's mortgage is going to be different based upon the equity in the deal. If you got 50% equity versus 20% equity, it's going to be different. But generally, multifamily expense ratios are not calculated with or to the mortgage payment. They're just calculated to get to an NOI. And that ratio is about 50%. Ben and I were having this conversation. 45 to 50% is a typical
smaller properties are
ratio.
less.
Yeah, smaller properties are less.
He wrote here, when I buy the deal, can I change the lease to raise the rent?
No, not until the lease expires.
The lease is the lease.
Right.
You got to wait till the lease lets you, and the lease is up, then you can raise the rent. Okay. And you want to look at his expenses and see if you can cut them down any, and then see when you can raise the rents, because raising rents and lowering expenses is what you want to do. So you got to see if you have the ability to do it. When the lease is up, how much is the guy next door charging? How much can you raise the rent to? Is there any expenses you can lower by doing something yourself? That's what you got to do. And then you better know the expenses before you buy the place. I'm telling you now. And if it's a small property, don't be afraid to ask for the fucking bills. Show me the goddamn bills. Show me the electric bill. Show me the landscape bill. Show me everything.
Call the water department. Call the electric company. If you get the account numbers off the meters, the house meters, they'll tell you what.
But if the guy's not willing to show you his fucking bill, he's crooked.
Right.
All right. Shout out Iyeth. Thank you for the $20. Hey, Ben, I'm a civil engineer and home builder. I recently go into home building and already built 2 homes and sold them. I'm currently scared of building another one. What do you think will happen to the home market?
I mean, the market's changing. I mean, the problem is that people can't qualify for what they qualify for. So that means that you're not going to have a bunch of people looking at $1 million homes because they don't qualify for $1 million anymore because the interest rate went up. Simple as that. It's a market you're in. If you can't build houses cheap enough to where you can sell them, then you better be careful, because what happens to guys like you in this type of market is they get upside down in the fucking house because they can't sell it for what it costs them to buy and build it.
Yep.
So you better be careful. You better know your market and know what your costs are. because you may have to take a pause on building homes right now. That's why I like building rental properties. Try your game in a duplex, because at least a duplex, your money's guaranteed. The rents are going to come in. You can fix your interest rate. You know what your return is going to be every month. So you can offer somebody a guaranteed return. It's based on cash flow to value. So, that determines the value of the property.
I think one of the easiest ways to answer this question is, look what Pulte and these other home builders are doing now. They're already cutting the prices of their inventoried homes to move them off the market. So that'll tell you right there, they're already seeing a 10, 12, 15% decrease in the market in their particular subdivisions.
Always follow the big shots.
Yep.
Do your homework, but you better stop building, because the home market rates have gone double and prices have got to come down. It's logic. It's no way around it. Okay. Unless you can find some area that's growing now, like an Amazon's going up, or you follow the big boys. If I was a small home builder, all I would do is follow the big boys. They do millions of dollars worth of research, finding out where places are growing, where places are developing, and then go out there and verify that it's still growing, and then build right next to them, because there's always these little parcels left that they didn't want or they couldn't use. So you could kind of ride on that coattail. That's what I always looked at.
The Amazon effect is not just for retailers. The Amazon effect also affects real estate
and workers,
and employment and everything else that goes along with it.
I look at workforce housing. If you can build that at a good price, you ain't got to build it fancy. You build it somewhere where it has a big demand, and you're solid and safe because you got the rent coming in. Then you can refinance it and pull that money out after you finish the thing and rent it out. And hopefully, you'll have something you own for free because you're a contractor and built it. So you got 20% ahead of the game. You're a contractor, 20% ahead of the game. You got 20% equity. You got free equity. So, that's what I would look at, doing small multifamilies or build where other guys, where it's growing, and other builders are doing big shit still.
Go find a guy that had the lot next to the 350 units.
Yeah, there you go.
What? Shout out Carlos. Thank you for the $4.99. What advice do you have for a new real estate agent who wants to get into multifamily and commercial in North Jersey?
North Jersey.
Learn your market. That's the easiest thing. You've got to learn the market. You're a new guy coming into the business. You really don't know that much. And, getting into it, get hooked up with a brokerage firm that is going to allow you to learn what you need to learn and become an expert in that field. Again, you're never going to control the entire state of New Jersey. You're never going to control, Newark. You got to look for a niche in that area that, you can become the kingpin of that market.
Find the guys that are doing the deals in that area. All right. Find the Jersey boys that are making the money. Go to a big firm. Don't fool around. Go to a goddamn big firm that gets automatic listings given to them because of their name, and join a team. Come in at the bottom of the totem pole and work your way up. I know guys, when I met you, those fucking guys are millionaires today. Just like you are, multi-millionaires, because they started at the bottom. They were kids when I met them. Now they're fucking big shots. They don't even take my call anymore. All these, what's his name? I can name a ton of them.
Think about all the guys that worked for me that are now at other firms.
There you go.
And,
they learned from you and moved up and moved on, I mean, go somewhere you can grow. All right. And grow with people that are already in the business, making money. So you're walking into opportunity. And then they pull you in, they teach you the ropes. You wear your nice suit, and you get to work and do whatever the hell they tell you to do, because they've done it and they know what they're doing. And eventually you'll grow just like they grew. I mean, I know, like Jason Stanton, he was a fucking kid when I met him.
Jason's a great guy.
He's a great guy.
Broker.
There's a ton of, I can name 100 of them in Tampa. All right.
Casey Mass Pingu. Thank you for
Casey started with me.
Thank you for the $20. Ben, I forgot to mention that the loan I have on my house isn't under my name, but I am the sole person on the deed. Should I get a loan for my house that I owe $225 on, or for my dad's that I owe $77 on?
I don't know. What is he saying? He forgot to mention the loan that he has on his house. Whoever's name is under, you can make sure that, I hope you're making the payments, because it doesn't matter whose name under. They're going to take a house away if you don't make the payments. But you're the only one on the deed.
I don't understand how he's on the mortgage on the deed.
Maybe he bought it subject to. I bought properties like that before. I take the mortgage, and I'll make believe I'm you, and I own the property. Here's your money, go away. The point is, it doesn't change things. You owe the money on the house. Okay, that's the fact. Whether it's under your name or somebody else's, it's recorded against the house. All right, so that's your,
still encumbered.
You're in the same boat. It doesn't matter. You know, so what's it say? And your dad's owns the 77. All right, we'll figure out a way you can borrow money, even pay off the 225. It's not in your name, and get rid of that, and then get a new loan and more some.
Sounds like he needs to have a personal consult
Yeah.
with you on that one.
If you need if you want to do a call with him, you go to benmala.com/shop and then just click a consult. We have 15-minute, 30-minute,
30, 45
hour.
an hour. I don't care. God damn it.
There we go. All right. Shout out Anthony. Thank you for the $4.99. Trying to open a gym around 4,000 to 5,000 square feet. How much do you think a square foot, a square foot would be responsible in a retail location? Or is that supposed to say?
Yeah, well, it depends on the market.
location.
You know, I mean, you can, Fifth Avenue in New York City is going to be $1,000 a square foot. Pinellas Park is going to be $12 a square foot. Depends on the market. Best thing to do is just start looking at the market in your area. Call a couple of brokers in that area. Ask them questions. Look on LoopNet. Look on CoStar. Look on Crexie.
It's like looking for an
You know,
apartment.
it's like anything else. Just do your background research and find out what that area is leasing for. It'll tell you real quick. You can come up with the comparables and give you an idea of exactly where that market's at.
Yep, do
And
your
find
homework.
out what they're willing to give you. Listen, if you're going to take over a 5,000 square foot space, and then they have a vacant space, they're going to be
Yeah.
hungry.
Yeah.
So you got to do some
Get
negotiating.
TI, you
You
get
know, find
tenant
how much free
improvements.
rent they'll give you, tenant improvements, all
Right.
that.
Yeah.
I mean, but do your homework. Go out there and shop around for the best location. Listen, retail and gyms. Listen, I own a lot of gyms. I got LA Fitnesses, and I got Esports, which is the same damn thing. I got Planet Fitnesses. I got all that shit. We're getting ready to buy a brand new something. I mean, gyms are great, but it's all about location.
Right.
Okay, you better buy that sucker where there's a lot of people,
people.
that have easy access to come there to your gym. There better be a whole 1,000 apartments around you or a shitload of people. It's mostly people in apartments that do go to the
Yeah.
gym a lot, but maybe homeowners. But anyway, the point is you better make sure it's the right location. Okay, and
Density.
hopefully, and then make sure you try to get the property at a discount. Find out what the market is, and offer them less. Right now they're desperate. If they're sitting with an empty place, let me tell you, if I'm sitting with empty fucking retail, I don't sleep at night. It drives me nuts. I had a fucking place that was 20,000 square foot empty. I was losing
Clearwater, wasn't it?
right here in Largo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
shoe carnival that bailed on me.
Yeah, I remember
COVID
that.
killed their ass.
Yep.
And then I was sweating, because I got to pay the fucking cam for them.
Yep.
And then I'm losing 20 grand in rent.
Yeah.
I was losing $250,000 a year off that fucking empty space. Luckily, Aaron's rents came. Aaron's rents came and took it over, and it's great.
All right. Thank you, Ben Salazar.
Mattress firm
Thank you for
bailed
the
on
super
me.
chat.
Yeah.
Mattress
that's an
bailed
out-
on me. Now I got off Adonis doing a build out. Took me a
That's the-
year to fucking re-rent it.
That's the out parcel over there. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
right.
Let's get through those super chats. I'm gonna
All
wrap
right.
it up.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate the $1.99. Can I pay cash for car for my business and use as an expense?
I mean, you can write off your car. Don't they have this thing where you buy these heavy duty vehicles or some shit?
Yeah,
You're over a
depends
weight
on-
limit, you get even more write off.
Depends on the tonnage. Yeah,
Right.
gross tonnage.
I mean, any expense you have that you're using for your business is a write off expense. Talk to your accountant, and then he'll depreciate. If you pay cash, he'll depreciate
Right.
your car
Right.
as
Over
something
the life
and,
cycle,
and get you
5
the credit
years.
on it. Right.
Don't go too crazy because you don't want any problems with the IRS.
Yeah. Well, that's just
Talk to
common
your
knowledge.
accountant.
That's-
I'm not going to give you accounting, but tell your accountant how much you're paying for the car and how he can, write it off, the mileage, the gas, the maintenance. If you're using it for work, me and little Ben today we sat down. We got about a dozen fucking cars that think we're paying for, trucks and this and that. Yeah, we have to have for our business. So it's an expense.
Yep.
But talk to your accountant and let him handle any tax
We
return.
got a fleet of maintenance trucks is the same way with us in a management company. So,
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Shout out Andrew. Thank you again for the $2. Is a cash out refinance
But if
or
you lease
home,
but if you lease it, the whole lease payment is right off of
Right.
it, right?
Correct.
is a cash out refinance or home equity loan better? What do you think?
Depends on what you want to do.
If you got the money to put somewhere right now, you need the goddamn money, you do a cash out. All right. If you're not sure what you're going to do with the money, especially today's interest rate, because it's very hard to even match the goddamn rate to invest in that you're paying the bank the interest. So, do a home equity line. You sit there, the money's sitting there anytime you want. You make a phone call. Hey, I need 100 grand. They send you 100 grand, but you're not paying on it, but it's sitting there waiting for you to use. And then you use it when it makes sense to use it.
Think of it this way, a cash out refinance comes with a payment tomorrow. A home equity loan, you don't have any payment until you use the money. It's the easiest way to explain it.
but it's sitting there, so you still got it,
Right.
but you ain't paying for it.
All right. Shout out Javier. Thank you for the $20. Ben, great show. I have one question for you. The bank will not do a modification and is trying to foreclose. What should I do? I owe 70 grand and have 130 grand in equity, but I can't touch it. SOS.
Get a fucking lawyer now.
Yeah.
That's what you need to do. I was just talking to a guy who ain't paid his fucking mortgage in fucking 18 months. Okay. And they're still modifying them. Listen, get a lawyer. If you got that kind of equity in the fucking property, you need to get a fucking lawyer that specializes in dealing with people in your situation. So seek out a lawyer that does stuff with banks. Okay. That's what you need to do. Don't waste your time with no other bullshit. Get a fucking lawyer that knows has experience negotiating with banks. And once they see a lawyer involved, then their tone changes. You know why? Because then they need to fucking get a lawyer. And then they got to spend more money. And then they know the lawyer knows every trick he can to tie him up. And all this and that and the other thing. So get a lawyer immediately before they start fucking foreclosing on you. Now's the time you need that fucking lawyer. Wherever you're at, find them.
And worst case scenario, sell the house, pull your equity out, move on.
That's an option too.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to do that, do that. There you go. You got options. You just got to exercise them.
All right. Shout out Luca. Thank you also for the $20. How do I know what cap to underwrite a deal at? Should I be buying based off of cap rate or an ROI? I've been advised not to underwrite based off cash on cash because it works unlevered. Sorry.
Works levered.
Levered.
It works unlevered. Whatever. Oh yeah.
Do you agree?
So the market trades on cap rate, and the market is priced on cap rate. As a broker, we don't factor in IRR because we don't know what your internals are. We don't know how you're going to underwrite the deal. So the market,
You don't know when he's borrowing the money at.
I don't know where you're borrowing the money at. I don't know what your cost of borrowing is. I don't know how much how much equity you're going to put into the deal. So when I go out and I list a property, we base it 100% entirely on NOI. Now that NOI has to make sense. The market has to make sense. And right now we're caught in that trap. We're in an inflection to where it used to be that you'd be able to make a spread off of your money and borrow money at 4% and buy a property at a cap rate at a 6% and make that 200% or 200 basis point arbitrage spread. Today, that spread is pretty equal. I mean, even if you can find a property at a 6 cap, it's still going to cost you 6% in interest on your money. So there's a lot of moving questions of that, or moving issues of that. But the bottom line is the market is based off of NOI and based off of cap rate.
But guys like me, we look at ROI.
Yep.
Why? Because we know what the hell we're going to pay for the money. Whenever Ben underwrites a deal and puts it in front of me, he says, okay, he knows what the fuck our interest rate's going to be. All right. And you can fix your interest rate like I should have freaking did back in January, like a schmuck I didn't. And I don't want to talk about I had some fixed rates, and I fucking got rid of them. I'm an idiot. What do you want me to tell you? I didn't see a crystal
didn't
ball.
take care of you?
What?
Our friends didn't take care of you?
I had money with the big banks at 3% fixed. And then and I said, what the fuck am I paying them 3 for when my adjustable's only 1.5 times 0.25 LIBOR? I'm paying 175. Why am I pissing away 1.25 a month? Why? Now I know why. Because the fucking Biden raised the fucking rates up to the roof, and now I'm fucked. But that's, life. I made a bad mistake and I didn't see a crystal ball. But the point is, I look at what my return's going to be, but because I know my interest rate's going to be. And I have to look at it because, the cap rates make no sense these days. So I got to, it's a mess. But, look at both ways, but definitely your return on your investment is what you want to look at but you got to know what you're going to pay for that money. He can't determine that. The broker can't determine that. Only you can determine that, you and your bank.
Okay, here we go. The last super chat of the night. Jian Yang, thank you for the $2. How long can Ben get an interest-only loans for?
That's my personal business. I'm not disclosing that to you. Listen, interest-only loans. Everybody loves these interest-only loans. It took me 30 years to get them. All right? The bank's only going to loan me interest-only loans because I proved to the bank that I have no risk. So the more money they loan you, the better it is for them. If I pay principal down, I'm borrowing less money. They make less money. I'm a no-risk buyer. You have to become a no-risk borrower, and then they'll give you interest only. They'll give it to people also doing construction jobs, stuff like that, to give you time to stabilize the property. Anybody can get them, but my term goes out typically with the term. It runs consistent with the lease of the tenant that I have. Okay, typically in like a Home Depot. If I got 10 years on a Home Depot, I'm going to ask them for 10 years interest only. Why? Because they know damn well Home Depot ain't going nowhere. They're going to pay their goddamn rent. It's a safe deal. It's all about risk tolerance. That's what interest only is all about. Showing the bank they don't have any fucking risk, so they don't need you to buy down the principal.
It's relationship. You got to build that relationship with the bank over years. I mean, we're in the same situation. We can walk in and get 3-5 year interest only, but a guy coming in off the street that they don't know you're making your first time application, you got to prove to them your ability to get that deal done.
That's it. Anything else?
No more super chats.
All right, folks. I hope you appreciated the fact that John came down here to hang out with us. I really appreciate it. You better get your ticket. You better get your room. You better Zoom. You better be there October 15th. Don't let me stand there in a goddamn room by myself. All right? I hope to see you there. So get online now, benmallow.com/what? Live, baby. Live. We're going live. Me, Ben Jr., Aaron, Vincent, Carla, Paulie. Everybody's going to be there. John, you coming?
I'm coming.
John will be there.
We'll
you
be
got
there.
questions? Hey, a lot of big shots coming to my town. I'm telling you now.
I'll be there.
You might score a big fat
I'll be
commission
there.
coming to my show.
Great.
So, and John will be there to answer questions and hang out with us.
Everybody go like, comment, subscribe.
Bring
tell
your
your
kid
mom,
with
tell
ya.
your dad. Tell everybody at the channel. We're past 500K. Now we're trying to get to 1 million. The road to 1 million.
1 million.
That's the big money.
That's the big money. Go follow all
that
his.
puts us in the big leagues.
That's the big leagues. Everybody go follow his
Danny
social
Duncan
media.
money
I
there.
know.
Danny Duncan. He came here and he rode my goddamn all my toys he played with. He's a nice kid. And he's actually buying real estate.
He's one of the
realest. At first when I met him, I said, oh boy. And then he showed me, I want to do this, I want to do that. He builds fucking duplexes in Inglewood.
Really?
He's making a killing. He
I
found
didn't
some
know that.
contractor that's not ripping them off. He's flipping duplexes and building them, and he wants to do an entertainment place. I mean, he's a smart
He's
guy.
one of the realest YouTubers that I can think of now.
Really cool guy.
I've heard really good things about him. I heard a couple people talk about him.
I mean, nobody's gonna like everybody. A lot of people don't like me. You know what I got to say about that. All right. Get in line. But the point is, you better come there October 15th. I got mortgage payments to make, baby, and you can help me make them. All I ask is you come stay in the hotel. Happy you'll be there. Happy. You got hotel questions? Ask Happy. He's an expert. Brenda will be there. She's an expert.
Yeah.
What else?
Everybody go follow his social media at Real Ben Mala on Instagram and Twitter. You can
I
follow.
only got many people on Twitter.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of people
I
on
don't
Twitter.
know.
So
They
if you
like
have
to
Twitter,
twit.
go
I'm
follow
not Trump.
him.
I'm not tweeting like Trump. Trump Twitter.
Let's say everybody go follow
Did he get
my.
kicked off?
I think he did.
You get let him back on?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Now they're coming out talking about he overevaluated his real estate. I don't want to talk about
that's
Trump.
crazy. Yeah, what a crazy.
Everybody go follow my Instagram at Aaron_Malalife. Rafal even has Instagram.
Yeah, it's Scupo 3D.
It's called
There you go.
Pollock.com. All right, come on down. We'll see you later. Adios, amigos.